What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sacred Sunday edition of the Awakening World. Bless you. And that's a reminder for people to please mute themselves until it's your turn to talk. And we have amazing people with us today. I am so honored with the depth of luminaries who have agreed to join us for a really powerful conversation. And that is exploring who Jesus, Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene were, and what they mean to us. Now, certainly we're not here to present anything as this is the way it was, this is the total truth, but rather to recognize that these beings, these archetypes, have impacted most of us in powerful ways throughout our life. And so how can we work with that? And how can we be curious about other interpretations or other beliefs or other perspectives? Such a big part of the awakening world is for us to be able to embrace other thoughts, other ideas, other beliefs, and go, oh, wow, I never saw it that way. I never thought of it that way. And so let's all open our hearts, open our minds. And in a moment, Heather Salmon's going to lead a beautiful meditation to help us to do that. But a couple of quick things. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, first of all, welcome. We really appreciate all the people that watch us on Facebook. A big thank you to John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network that gets us out to as many as 100 Facebook groups and pages for all of the shows that we do. So we really appreciate that. And a big special welcome to those of you who are watching on Unify. So whether you're on Facebook or our wonderful friends that are in the Zoom room, let us know where you are geographically. It's really fun to see people from all over the world that are tuning in to us, and that's really fun. Also, because today's show is dedicated to what does Jesus, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene mean to you, put that in the chat box. We want to hear from you as well. Who do these beautiful beings, who do they mean to you? What do they represent to you? We want to know that. Now, we're going to have some really beautiful interaction with these amazing luminaries. You're going to meet them in a moment. And so for those of you who are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, you might want to come right into our Zoom room. And it's really easy to do that. Go to globalpeacetribe.com. I'm pulling up that website right now. Go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And you'll see always down at the bottom, you can always click on that little button, take you to the registration page. It takes about a minute to register. And then what happens is you'll immediately get the links to all of our Zoom rooms for the next 3 months. We do a show every Friday night, every Saturday night, and every Sunday morning, where we come together and we explore topics like today's, where we help each other to be inspired, to be informed. And it's a beautiful community that's growing, the beautiful global Peace Tribe community. And later today, you're going to learn about the soul Search community, which is an amazing community. So you definitely want to come on in. In fact, speaking of Soul Search, I'm going to briefly share with you a little bit about who we've got with us today. And I'm so grateful. My co-host for the whole weekend has been Tangila, who is the founder of Soul Search. Welcome, Tangila.
Hi, Scott, and good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you again today. It's been such an incredible weekend, right, Scott?
Oh my God, amazing, amazing weekend.
Amazing.
The spirit of Celestine Star, I think, has added a whole new dimension of love and connection. It's been really, really powerful.
Exactly. So it's just been so beautiful to connect with everyone. And again, this morning, feeling all of your hearts and energies so wide open, just loving this feeling and loving the community and so appreciative and excited to connect. And of course, connect with our beloved Yeshua and Mary Magdalene as well.
I'm going to briefly introduce the other people who are going to be joining us, just to give you a little bit of a taste of who's going to be here, and then we'll turn it over to Heather for our opening meditation. But he's back, Omashar, coming all the way from his home country of England.
River Avon behind me. Namaste, everybody. How much love?
We've missed you, and it's great to have you back with us.
I tell you, I've missed you guys too. Is the momentum that the awakening world has is just a part of me, and I was tuning in, but I was also asleep last night and the night before, so I'm slightly jet lagged, but hey, I'll get over it.
Well, thank you, and of course, beloved Omashar is going to play some music for us, so we're really happy about that. I'm excited. We have a brand new guest who hasn't been on any of the Global Peace Tribe shows before, and this is Tez Gabriel. I met her. She was part of the World Unity Week, and of course we did several shows with World Unity Week, and she facilitated what I think for many was the most powerful event of the World Unity Week, which is what inspired today. She did a roundtable conversation about Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and it was powerful. Everybody was talking about it. And I said, hey, would you be willing to do that for the Awakening World? And she said yes. She's the executive director of Pathways to Peace, which is a very important organization. And we're going to get to know her. She's been doing great work for over 30 years. So Tez, it's so nice to have you with us. She's muted, but I'm hearing her say thank you. And Heather Salmon is with us. Heather is a longtime friend, and she's an ordained priestess in the whole ISIS community. And we're going to hear, I think, today about kind of the connection between ISIS and Mary Magdalene. That's going to be really quite fascinating. And speaking of Mary Magdalene, this is Christy Michaels. And Christy also has a long history with Mary Magdalene, including she hosts every year the Mary Magdalene Feast, which I've participated in. Heather has participated in. And she's led journeys to France and explored all about Mary Magdalene's time there. So we're going to hear from Christy. And then later on, Renee and Anthony, two amazing channels, will be with us. And when they come, I'll let Tangila introduce them. Oh, they're here. Let me find them. Tangila, do you want to introduce them while I add them?
Sure. So Renee and Anthony, they are the channelers of Blue Soul Earth, and wonderful, incredible friends of ours, and also part of our Soul Search community. They were some of the first healers as part of Soul Search, and they are truly incredible channelers. They're able to actually channel anything and everything, including the galactics, ascended masters, angels, guides. I've had the pleasure of working with them over the years. And of course, most powerfully, they have been channeling Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And I've had the honor of also taking several courses with Mary Magdalene through Anthony and Renee. And it's really an incredible energetic transmission, so powerful. So I'm so excited that you guys can be here with us from Mount Shasta. Thank you for coming. And so excited to connect with you both and with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene.
We are so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah. And the connection is good, Scott. We're all set. Even from Mount Shasta, there is Wi-Fi.
That's wonderful. All right. Well, Being it's the Sacred Sunday show, we always like to start with a meditation, and I'm so grateful. I'm going to pin Heather Salmon. Heather is someone that I've had the honor to participate in many of her incredible experiences, and she brings so much grace, so much integrity to everything she does. And so, Heather, thank you for getting us started as we kind of drop in with what you have to share.
Great. Thank you, Scott. Welcome, everyone. It's my honor and pleasure to be here this morning. Thank you for the invitation. So let's start with a little meditation. So I invite you to just lower your eyes and turn your awareness within. As we come to the center here, bring your awareness to your breath. Simply noticing your breath as it goes in and out. Relaxing into your exhale. Softening your face, your jaw, your shoulders. Deepening your breath into the area of your heart. Tuning in and taking a moment to notice what's alive for you in this moment. Maybe noticing and presencing already the energy of this show of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And what they mean to you in your life. And deepening your breath now into the area of your belly. Just allowing your belly to be soft and rise and fall. And deepening the breath into the area of the pelvis and the womb. Or the ladies into the womb, the uterus and ovaries. And deepening your breath all the way down to the base of the spine, to the root chakra, located at the space between the anus and the genitals. Good. And deepening your awareness all the way down to the center of the earth, to the heart of Mother Earth, Gaia. And as you tune in, just allowing whatever the earth is wanting to reveal to you in this moment to be revealed. No right or wrong answers here, just allowing. And bring your awareness back to your root chakra and let's send down a brand new grounding cord or ground yourself however you like. You might want to envision a rope or a tube or a pole going all the way down to the center of the earth. Just make sure it's really well connected at your root chakra and all the way down to the center of the earth. Noticing how it feels to be grounded in this way. And now simply releasing down that grounding cord, anything that's no longer serving you, anything that might be pulling at you, just letting it go, anything that would inhibit or limit you from fully receiving and opening to the blessings of the teachings, the wisdom, the knowledge, the divine inspirations that are coming forth this morning. Now drawing up from the heart of Mother Earth, beautiful earth energy, allowing it to come up like a pillar of light, through that grounding cord into your being. Let it circulate through your whole body and all the way to the crown of your head. And now from the cosmos, let's call in beautiful divine Christ white light, opening through your crown chakra and let it come spiraling in through and around, completely enveloping you in this divine Christ light. This beautiful, warm, golden white light. Let it go down, some of it down into the earth, and now envisioning yourself cocooned in a beautiful eggshell-like structure with these earth and cosmic energies melding and rebalancing you and encasing you in a beautiful citadel of light. And as you're ready, just bend over and shake it out a little bit. And come rolling back up. Bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. And fully taking a couple of full connected breaths, inhaling to the belly, the womb, the diaphragm, and then chest. And exhaling chest, diaphragm, belly. And inhale, belly, diaphragm, chest. And exhale, chest, diaphragm, belly. And one more breath here. Inhale, belly, diaphragm, chest. And exhale, chest, diaphragm, belly. And bring both hands to prayer at your heart, balancing the sacred feminine and masculine energies within, uniting heaven and earth within the being, balancing all polarities. With that, I invite you to tone with me one of the ancient names of God, the sound of hue. We'll do 3 hues from the heart, opening, breathing in and out through your heart chakra, enlivening it, opening to the pathway of the heart, of compassion, of love, of harmony, beauty, empathy, peace, contentment. So let's inhale to begin. Hue. That we open our circle for the blessings of this time, this very special transmission, teachings, and inspirations for beloved Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. So be it. Blessed be.
Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am and know that we never part. One heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one Heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am and know that we never part. One heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we live. Great rehearsal. Here with my family. Heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am and know we're never apart. There is only one heart, one love, one life we
So grateful to be here with you.
one heart, one love, one life we live. Last time. Here with my family. Heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am and know we never are apart. There is only one heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we
Brother Amashar, thank you so much. You just add so much. And Heather, thank you so much for that beautiful, perfect opening meditation. Really grateful. I'm so inspired with all the people that are with us. So many of our favorite Global Peace Tribe friends are with us today, and certainly some amazing luminaries. And what an incredibly important conversation to have. And I'm delighted. I love co-hosting with Tangila. And for any of you who don't know Tangila, probably most people watching on Facebook that are new, she is the founder of Soul Search. We're going to learn all about Soul Search a little bit later on in the show. But it is we're all coming together during this incredible time of transformation as our planet changes, as humanity wakes up to a higher consciousness. We're all coming together, and Tangila is a powerful international community, global leader, creating community through Soul Search. But what I want to focus on right in this moment, Tangila, is the remarkably diverse exposure you've had to so many different cultures, so many different religions, raised Islamic, living in New Orleans, Afghanistan, Biafra, traveling the world. So tell us a little bit about your journey and what Jesus, Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene mean to you.
Thank you, Scott. What an amazing question, and just so incredible to be here with all of you connecting. So yes, I was raised Muslim, and I was born in New Orleans, but I grew up in Saudi Arabia. So, or many of you may know, is where Mecca and Medina are the holy cities of Islam. So I actually spent most of my younger years spending a lot of time in the holy cities, really immersed in the teachings of the Quran and the traditional Islamic ways of praying and meditation and practice. And actually, Jesus is an extremely important part of our Islamic tradition. And he, in Islam, we consider Islam the last religion, after Christianity and Judaism. And so we really do believe that within Islam, that, these are the Abrahamic religions, and Jesus and Mother Mary play a very, very important role in our faith. And Mother Mary also has an incredible role in the Quran and in the Islamic religion. So I actually grew up with a lot of reverence for Jesus. And he was actually a big part of my spiritual upbringing, just as Prophet Muhammad was. And so, but I was never exposed to Mary Magdalene. And I didn't really have any knowledge of her except for when once we moved back to America after the Gulf War started. And when I was in high school, I started investigating other religions because it never really quite sat with me. Just like, why do we have like one religion? And, what about all these other faiths? So once I was older and I moved back here, I started studying Christianity more deeply and reading the Bible and the Torah. And that's when I started having some exposure to Mary Magdalene, but I didn't really get a chance to know her until I started working with Anthony and Renee, which was actually very recently in the last few years, as part of my spiritual awakening. Spirit brought me to the Bay Area and introduced me to Anthony and Renee. And it's through them that I really started connecting to my galactic families and spirit guides and ascended masters and angels. And Mary Magdalene came through quite powerfully as this force of nature, this divine feminine who has been suppressed and hidden for so long, but no longer. So what a miracle and what a blessing and a gift, because I feel for my own spiritual awakening, she has been such a huge part of this, bringing the divine feminine back to my consciousness in a really huge way. Her connection and love and relationship with Yeshua. And then, of course, her and Mother Mary's connection to Isis and being priestesses of Isis in the temple of Isis, and also my own connections to being a priestess of Isis in ancient Egyptian times. So such a long history there, but Yeshua and Mary Magdalene play such an important role, and Anthony and Renee have been so profound in that for me and with me as as bringing through these incredible beings for us.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Tangila. And of course, we're going to hear from everybody much, much more. I'm also going to do my best to monitor some of the comments coming in from Facebook, from our Zoom room. So, of course, I won't be able to read everybody's comments, but I'm going to just read a couple right offhand. Something kind of fun on Facebook through Unify. Linda writes, wow, this is Linda Young Thomas. Wow, I just happened upon this Facebook Live, and of course, the universe delivers. I just finished reading the Magdalene manuscript. So I love the synchronicity of that. Patty Sullivan writes, so grateful to share this experience coming from Chandler, Arizona. Eleanor Joy writes, I resonate with that, Mary, and have reminded myself of it very often since the last time you shared that with us. And Eleanor, of course, is one of our wonderful regulars who's with us. So thank you. I will periodically, read some of the comments coming in. I'm going to bring on Tez next. And again, this is her first time on a Global Peace Tribe show. But Tez, you are in the beginning. There was Tez Gabriel, and it was good. You started this. This is all a response to the beautiful event you created on World Unity Week. So thank you so much.
Well, that was the co-creation of many, many, many. I am just so honored and delighted to be here, Scott, and to be in this glorious company. Oh my goodness, audience included. And so thank you for inviting me. I feel very much at home.
Oh, thank you, Yenny. You fit right in. So, who are Jesus and Yeshua, Mary Magdalene? Who are they to you? What's your personal journey with those beings?
Well, I'm going to talk mostly about my personal journey with Jesus. After I should say that I have spent a lifetime with the divine feminine, lifting up and honoring the divine feminine. But I have a very personal, dynamic, rich, and joyful experience with Jesus. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Jesus in my time and a little bit about Mary Magdalene at the end and the pairing. And so my experience with Jesus not began because I was I was a mystical child, always interested in the sacred and sacred rituals. And so most of my experience as a child was wafting in and out of various religious traditions. I loved the statuary and the incense, the candles in Catholicism. I loved the singing in Protestant churches. I loved the evangelical call and respond. So I grew up knowing that there was sacred within me, knowing I had a purpose, and also being very in touch with the information that I received that I recognized at a very young age that others weren't getting. And so I learned pretty quickly to suppress that in terms of speaking about it, but never suppressed my knowing what I knew. And so, and when I was 21 and I was pregnant with my third child, I hit a very dark time in my life. It came through a very devastating experience. And I felt so devastated that I actually, had I not been pregnant, I considered taking my own life. And because I didn't know what to do, I went to our local pastor in our church, who also didn't know how to help me, but helped me more than he could ever know, which was, he said, go home, get down on your knees and pray. And so that's what I did. Immediately, Jesus lifted me. And I had this mystical experience that transformed my life. In that experience with Jesus, my life passed in front of me, and I could see every little detail that was not in alignment with my soul. Everything that was out of alignment was revealed to me. And I know now that to be contrition, but I did not have language for it then. But at the very same time that these pieces of my life were revealed to me, I was in such glorious love, like nothing I had ever experienced before. And so at the same time that I could see these areas that needed to come into alignment, I was experiencing this amazing love. And just immediately, I was transformed. And again, I know now that that was an atonement. I didn't have that language at the time, but in a blink of an eye, I was a different person. And I came out of that experience knowing that I was sacred, knowing I had purpose, knowing I had value, and more than anything, knowing that I was loved beyond imagination. And so that changed my life. And it changed my life in an instant. And it also kind of prompted an evolution for me, because I still came back to a life that, of course, was not perfect. But I did then begin a deeper level journey with Jesus. And so Jesus and I have been companions since that time. And Jesus comes to me through my dreams. The sages say that there are 3 ways to connect with the divine. One is prayer, where we talk to God, I'll say. One is meditation, where God talks to us. And another is conversation, where we speak back and forth. I have conversation with Jesus and with Spirit as a whole, because Jesus, of course, is part of that whole. My dreams, when Jesus comes to me in my dreams, sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're a kick in the butt, but always they are incredibly loving. And so I have had a number of Jesus dreams. And as a result, my friends tease me that it's the Jesus Chronicles as I'm talking about another dream, and they're always life-changing. And so I'm going to give you just one sample of an enjoyment one, where I call these things different titles. So this was Jesus in the soda shop. So in this dream, I was with my friends. We went into this kind of 50s type grill and squeezed into a booth. And I looked up, and behind the counter was Jesus. And I recognized him immediately. He was beautiful. And I came out from my seat in the booth. He came out from behind the counter, and I ran to him and jumped into his arms. And when I did that, I had wanted to wrap my legs around him too, and one of my legs just wouldn't quite wrap, right? So, even in my dream, I'm giggling because I'm trying to fully body embrace, and one of my legs wouldn't cooperate. But he held me and said, "I love you." And I said, "I love you." And it was the most profound feeling of love, once again, in every one of these dreams. And then the dream was gone. So Jesus comes to me sometimes with very deep messages, and sometimes just to remind me how much I'm loved. And so I have so many stories, but I don't want to take any more time than need be, because I want to honor what everyone else has to say. So let me say that what I know about Jesus is that he came to model and provide a message. The modeling was that we are both human and divine. Jesus Christ, right? Jesus, the human, Christ, the Christ consciousness, the God, and that all of us are human and divine. He said that repeatedly. I'm doing nothing that you cannot do. The message was there is no separation, right? That there is no way we could be separate from source. And given the times that he came, and the kind of obsession with law as a way to be sacred, to be holy, that he came to say that these rules don't matter. You cannot be separate from God, from others, from all that is. And so it's about oneness. It's about unity with all that is. And to this day, 2,000 years later, we're still grappling with hearing, with the awareness of that message. And of course, we can't be separate from all that is. And yet that mad idea that we are still permeates our culture. And many other cultures. So both to model and to provide a message. And that relationship, that modeling and that message has transformed my life, continues to transform my life. And I'm forever grateful. I will say that I do have a connection with Mary Magdalene. And of course, the obvious that we'll all say is that it's the joining of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. When we think about Mary Magdalene and Jesus. For me personally, one of the messages, I'm very connected to Lilith. And when I ask about Lilith, what I get is its bloodlines. And when I ask about Mary Magdalene, I know that it's lineage with Lilith. And so again, what we know about the reappearance of the sacred through many lifetimes. So, and again,
Thank you so much. So much. We have so many amazing people, so I do need to move forward, but we'll come back to you later in the show, of course. And I just want to say, I can feel your incredible love affair with Jesus. That's how I'm experiencing it. Clearly, it's a beautiful mutual love affair. I can feel your love for him, but even as you're recounting the dreams, I can feel his love. I can feel that beautiful cycle and that flow. And what grace in your life to have that experience. I just want to say that is beautiful grace that you have that.
And I would only say that we have access, every one of us have access to it all. And so thank you for allowing me to share. And again,
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say anything that, we just need to remember, because it's all right here. The knowledge is already known. We just each need to remember who we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to hear from Christy Michaels next. But, a thought that came to mind, as some of us are watching this, imagining some of you are relating deeply to what Tez has experienced. But I also want to acknowledge those of you that haven't had a personal experience of Jesus, that haven't had Jesus coming to you in their dreams. And I don't want you to feel isolated or that there's anything less than. We all have our own unique journey. But I'm remembering that it started for her when she was in that really dark place and she dropped to her knees. Now, I'm not suggesting we have to hit a dark place or we have to drop to our knees, but there is something about opening to receive. I love, one of my great teachers is Paramahansa Yogananda, and he spoke a lot about just ask, keep asking. Whatever it may be, whether it's Jesus that you relate to or another archetype, reveal thyself to me. Reveal thyself. And creating the opportunity to be open to have an experience and maybe to look at what do I need to change within myself so that I am open. Maybe there's an authority figure that told you that was bullshit and that doesn't really happen. Maybe there was a disillusionment in your life about your initial religion that you grew up with. So what blocks might we remove so we can really drop into that reveal thyself place? And then you never know who might show up. It could be Jesus or Mary Magdalene or any number of other beautiful saints and spiritual teachers. So I just wanted to put that out, and I was inspired by thinking about what Tez experienced. In introducing Christy Michaels, she's a longtime friend. Christy and I have worked together for years. I want to right off the bat let everybody know that coming right in just, 12 days is going to be something she does every year, the celebration of the Magdalene Feast Day. And we'll talk more about that, but Christy has been dedicated to this for so long, for so many years, and so it's perfect that she's available to join us. And also, some of you are asking, what about Celestine? Celestine Starr, for any of you who don't know, is a beautiful, beloved elder who's a big part of our community. And she passed away quite suddenly last week. And she was very involved with Mary Magdalene and the Magdalene Feast. So there's an interesting synchronicity. And we had scheduled this with Tez before Celestine passed away. So there are magical things asunder. And to briefly share a little bit about that, here's Christy. I'm going to put the full spotlight on you, Christy. And briefly, she is ordained in the Lyceum of the Holy Sophia by Elizabeth Kelly of the Holy Order of Mary Magdalene. And Christy is absolutely devoted to spreading the gospel of Mary Magdalene, especially as it is mirrored in A Course in Miracles. And kind of Christy's claim to fame is that she has documented the research of Dr. Joe Dispenza in the HeartMath Institute and how that is exemplified in Mary Magdalene's experience as outlined in her gospel. And Christy may want to just briefly explain to people that there is a gospel of Mary Magdalene that we can still find in the Gnostic books, the Gnostic scriptures, but our friends in 321 decided not to put it into the Bible when they decided what books would go in and out. So maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Thank you so much, Scott. I love you so much, my dear. You are definitely one of my beloveds. And Tangila, what a joy to get to know you. And you're such a beautiful and amazing hostess. I am just loving you. And I remember Celestine acknowledging to me about how much she adored you. So it's just lovely to have you participating with Scott as co-host. And
doesn't she look like Mary Magdalene? Like
she
when you picture
does.
what Mary Magdalene would look like, she would look like Tangila.
She is heart and soul, the divine essence. And God, there's so many beautiful people. Well, I am pretty much a mystic, and I came to this all through really profound mystical experiences. And I have one to share with Omasar as well, because on 2012, when I got really into crop circles, and on 2012, where the world was supposed to end, but actually it was the ending of the Mayan calendar. And there was crop circles that appeared in the beginning of 2012 that were the flower of life symbol. Right. And it was in a yellow field, and it kind of illuminated the idea. Yellow is like when the green light, when it turns yellow and it's going to go to red. So it's kind of like a warning, like pay attention. You need to be aware. Ready. The last crop circle was in Australia, because Australia summer is our winter, right? So the last crop circle of 2012, and that was the Vesica Pisces, which the center part of the Vesica Pisces is the vulva, which is the womb of the cosmic universe. Yes. And when they've done the sacred geometry on that, the sacred geometry in it comes out to 153, which according to the Greeks alphabet spells out, if you take the math and each Greek letter relates to a letter to a number, it spells out the Magdalene. So we have in 2012, we launched into the way of Mary. This is now the time of Mary. And this is the rise. That's why we're seeing this beautiful rise and opening. And so when I first heard about the Gospel of Mary Magdalene from Elizabeth Kelly, I was like, oh my God, what? There's a Gospel of Mary. How come nobody told me about that? I was just so, surprised and couldn't believe it. So I began teaching it, but it's kind of a daunting text. So I took a whole group of people. We went through it in a very Jungian way. Took a whole year to go through 18 pages, just really dropping in, doing sacred ritual around it. And Donnie was with me on some of those journeys and supporting me with the music. So Heather's beloved. And one time I came to a passage, and that passage said in the Gospel of Mary, and those who seek him and find him will know the kingdom of God. And I'm going, seek him and find him. Is this real? I mean, come on, Mary. Oh, come on, Jesus. Jesus was my brother, and I felt a heart connection to him, but it's like, really? It's him? I have to surrender to it? Okay, so if I have to surrender to him, I'm willing. I just need to know, is there another way to look at this him thing? Because this him thing is a little hard. And of course, in the Course in Miracles, it was weird because the Course in Miracle, the word she never shows up at all in the whole text. So it's always a little disconcerting that there's no representation of the divine feminine. And so I was praying in my morning meditation, and I put that request out, help me understand the hymn thing, or help me learn if I'm supposed to surrender, let me know. And I let it go. And I'm sitting in my meditation, and I hit this glorious, beautiful sweet spot. And I was so enjoying it. I completely forgot what I had asked about earlier. And all of a sudden I hear this very gentle voice, and it says, you tell them it's H period, I period, M period. And I went, H period, I period, M period, what is that? H is for heaven, I is for in, M is for me. Him is heaven in me. And if I do the work to find heaven in me, then the very next sentence in the Gospel of Mary said, you walk forth as heaven in me, sharing and extending that heavenly love, that peace. And so I was like, yes, I knew it. It was like, yeah. So that's the work that we all have to do. And of course, that's what the Gospel of Mary Magdalene documents. It documents how she actually got to find heaven in her and connect with the heaven in me. And then she ran to Jesus and she goes, I had a vision, because it's done through visioning, right? Without a vision, the people perish, right? And so Jesus looks at her and he goes, oh my God, you did, because it was so authentic and so real. And even Peter, the Apostle Peter, he could tell, like, what's going on here? Something's happened to this woman. I don't understand. And yeah, you're not listening, Peter. You want to be attached to your cultural belief that women are less than. And that's why the genius was Jesus appeared to Mary Magdalene, because he knew that he was one with her and they were equal. And so it's the wholeness of heaven in me joining together with heaven in me, and we become as one. Blessed be. So I'm really excited about that. And just to say a little bit more, as I was listening to Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza and the Heart Math Institute, I'm listening to their research about the work that they're doing, which is 8,000 brain scans and whatnot, and people are going into gamma states of where they're having, the ability to heal themselves right in the room after going through their trainings, spontaneous healings and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, it's so amazing. But I'm hearing, wait a minute, that's in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Wait a minute, that Mary Magdalene talks about that as her experience, as he's explained. So I went and I cooked them up. So Mary talks about her experience, and then Joe talks about the research of her experience, the scientific research of her experience. And so it's my gift to you. If you want to, you're welcome to get a copy of the Dr. Joe Dispenza Meet Mary Magdalene YouTube video of my first class of the series of classes that I did. So,
Beautiful.
thank you so much, Scott. And I love you. I love what you're doing. Thank you for being the creator and the launcher, and with Deborah Giusti and all these fabulous, fabulous, wonderful people. So powerful, so healing. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, dear.
My pleasure. And we'll come back later to Christine, learn more about what you're putting on July 22nd and more about the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
We have an abundance of wise luminaries with us today, and we're going to hear from Heather Salmon next. But don't worry, Renee and Anthony are here, and after Heather, we're going to actually have them channeling, and we'll see what Yeshua and Mary Magdalene actually have to say for themselves through Renee and Anthony. So we're looking forward to that. People have asked about to what degree are we going to honor Celestine today. And we will at the very end, but we have so many amazing presenters that I want to hear from. And this dialogue is so powerful, and there's a lot of wonderful chat taking place. So that's our plan. And we'll have even more Omushar music taking place too. All right, I'm going to bring back Heather Salmon. Of course, she got a homeopathic dose of Heather when she did that beautiful meditation to get us started this morning. Heather is also with her partner Donnie, the co-founder of the Black Swan Temple. She is also an ordained priestess. And Heather, I'd love to hear a little bit about your personal experience with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and maybe if you could help tie together the connection between Isis and Mary Magdalene and the stars and how that all kind of comes together, because it may be very new for a lot of us and it's quite fascinating.
Sure, Scott, thank you. Yeah, so I'm kind of interesting because I am an ordained minister in the lineage of the Church of the Essenes. And it's believed that Jesus and Mary and Joseph and John the Baptist were Essenes. And I'm also a priestess of the Temple of Isis, which Mary Magdalene was also trained under that lineage. So to speak first about the Essenes, I came to the Essenes. I was an actress in Los Angeles. I had a number of careers and I was on a real healing path. And I was very interested in bringing more healing in marrying healing in the performing arts. So I started studying with these different healers and I found this woman, Reverend Lynn Herod de Verges, who I took a couple of her classes. I was like, wow, this is so powerful. Where did this work come from? And she told me it came through the angels, and it was the work of the Essenes. So the Essenes were mystics, prophets, poets, healers, and they walked the sevenfold path of peace. And it's a very dynamic kind of spiritual practice. We look at peace with the body, peace with the mind, peace with your relations, peace with your beloved, peace with your service, peace with the earth, peace with spirit, with the cosmos. So it's there's so many ways to approach this. And then there's all these beautiful tools that help you to receive direct connection and guidance and cultivate your spiritual practices and energy and paths. So we work with energy, we work with dreams, we work with astral travel, the Akashic records, lots of different aspects. And I work with sacred sound as well, and different arts. And so that my relationship with Jesus, like I was brought up in the church, but when I came to the path of the Essenes, I was like, oh, this is what they were talking about, because it's really unfolding your own spirituality and your spiritual divine connection with spirit and cultivating that within. And Mary Magdalene is dear to me too. I've done many ceremonies and services with Christy, who loves Magdalene, and I have been really praying and deepening my connection with Mary Magdalene. And to me, it's the path of the heart. And they talk about the new in the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, to know yourself, and this is through your heart. And as I was sharing in my opening meditation, the path of the heart is the path of compassion and empathy and healing and harmony and unity, seeing the beauty in all of us and connection. So what a beautiful path that is. And so to me, my relationship is a connection of the intersection of the work of the heart with kind of the practical kind of pillars of light of the way of the ancient Essenes and the sevenfold path of peace. You wanted me to talk about the stars. So Isis, Auset, is her Kemetic name. Actually, Isis is her Greek name, or Isis, is considered the star Sodep, or Sirius, is called the Isis star. And it's believed that from this constellation, from Sirius, is where actually Buddha and Yeshua and other high masters came from. And they are like it's our spiritual sun and our spiritual elders. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about Celestine, because I love her. have candle for her. And this past, when the day she passed, there was an alignment with our sun and our spiritual sun. They were conjunct, which means they were together. So you might know Sirius as like the dog days of summer, or the 8-8 Lionsgate, and that triggering for the ancient Egyptians, it was their New Year's, because that's when signal the flooding of the Nile. So a very important star in the Egyptian pantheon. And we know that Jesus was in Egypt. We know that Mary Magdalene was in Egypt as well. So this alignment this week that we had, we're just coming out of it, this conjunction really opened like a portal of light and direct connection with Sirius. And Celestine, I'll mention this here because Celestine would talk about, in her last interview, she would talk about her connection with the Syrian Council. And so as this portal was open, yes, it was Independence Day, and it was this powerful conjunction in which she received her liberation, through which. So I feel like that was really powerful to me. It was a powerful moment and a time of her transition, and a beautiful moment. And she said she was called home onto her next, to continue her work on a different plane. That she is still here with us.
You know, as you mentioned this, Leah Sasloff just sent this photo that Celestine's daughter sent, knowing we were doing this show today. And here we are talking about Celestine and her connection. And isn't that an amazing photo of Celestine kind of connecting to what Heather just described? And again, it is fascinating that Celestine left at this particular time with that astrological configuration that you just described. There really is a remarkable synchronicity to all of that. And I love that photograph. And thank you, Leah, for sending that to us. Isn't that powerful?
Yeah, it's beautiful. She's like a big sister to me. I really love Celestine. I mean, Celestine and I met when 10-10-10, October 10th, 2010, there was the convocation of the Temple of Isis. And I was invited in and asked to, we were both asked to dance during the convocation and the invocation of Isis. She had 10,000 names. Now, I was asked to dance the goddess Nuit, or Nut, who's a mother goddess, and Celestine was asked to embody Sekhmet. Celestine really wanted to be Nuit. That was who she took through her initiation. She was being in service and devotion to Nuit, to the goddess of the stars. So this is also her connection to these star beings. And Celestine was kind of a little upset. I'll tell you, a little upset. She's like, Heather, I want to dance Nuit, and I would have been happy to be Sekhmet, but she's like, I already have the outfit, look. So we had a good laugh, and she was so sweet about it. And I just, I really appreciate her. We were both priestesses also in devotion to Nut and bringing the wisdom of the galactic and the stars through down through us to the people of the earth. I think you're muted, Scott.
Yeah, I'm bringing Tangila back on. And I just want to let everybody know today's show is going to go longer. It's going to be a longer show today because we have so many amazing luminaries sharing their wisdom. And so, go get an extra coffee or an extra tea, from the kitchen. We'll definitely hear more from Heather a little bit later. Thank you so much, Heather. And so now we get to hear from Yeshua and or Mary Magdalene directly. And so to tell us a little bit about that and to introduce Renee and Anthony. And isn't this an amazing show so far, Tangila?
incredible. It's so wonderful. And I just love getting to know Tez and Christy even more, and Heather, and just having you all here. And thank you so much for the beautiful meditation, Heather. That was wonderful. And Omashar, always, the music was just sublime. So it's really incredible. Feel the energy building and just feel Yeshua and Mary Magdalene with us so strongly. So really excited about what's coming through next.
All right, and here they are. Here's what's coming through next.
Great. So I just want to introduce Renee and Anthony. They are modern mystics, channelers, and healers, and the founders of Blue Soul Earth, which is focused on igniting global consciousness by bringing the worlds of science and spirituality together. And their teachings are on the balance of the divine masculine and feminine, unity consciousness, heart-centered living. And they have a lot of different offerings and programs. You can check them out on Soul Search and on YouTube. They have incredible websites, bluesoulearth.com, as well as Study with Spirit, where they actually have a monthly Magdalene membership for women who would like to be a part of that as well, which is amazing. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Renee and Anthony, because I know everyone here is excited to just tune in and tap in with our Ascended Masters here.
Thank you, Tangila. Thank you, Scott. And it's so great to be here today, tuning in from Mount Shasta. So what we thought we would do, Scott's asked us just to do just a couple minutes on our connection each to Yeshua and Magdalene, and then we'll just do a little short channeling.
Okay.
So do you want to start, or?
You can start.
I can start. Okay.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Well, I just loved everyone's stories. The truth is, growing up, I didn't really have a connection to Magdalene per se at all, although I grew up in almost every religion. I was the female version of Life of Pi. So I was baptized Episcopalian, Methodist, Baptist, Catholic, and I'm forgetting something, Presbyterian or whatever, literally all baptized, all of them. And then I landed on a kibbutz at age 18 and traveled around to all these holy spots for 3 years throughout the world, India, south of France, Israel, all of these holy spots that would later obviously resurface in our lives today. And so those holy spots were really the places where I started feeling these almost remembrance and connection. And then, of course, I met my twin flame over here. And the moment we literally touched, we felt electricity go through our body. And you just, you can't explain it. We couldn't explain it. And magic started happening at that point, and we started opening up to spirit in a very big way. And at first it was a lot of the goddesses, as Tangila knows, because she did all of our goddess courses. We were channeling all these goddesses from, across cultures and time. And then the Ascended Masters for the longest time, really, we were channeling. And then one day the Magdalene came through at dinner, and there was this just powerful remembrance. And I remember saying, who are you? I feel like you're my sister. I feel this really strong connection. And that was really preparation for us to really start embodying their energy, to represent the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And that's really our role, they say. Our guides now are even though, as Tangila mentioned earlier, that we channel the seraphim energies like Melchizedek and Metatron and these other energies, our role really, our guides say, is to bring this divine masculine and feminine to the world and show it through the Yeshua and Magdalene energy by channeling them. So that threw our lives upside down. We're like, what? So we've been on quite a journey with that. They've come through and they teach us every single night at dinner. They come through every night for the last, I don't know how many years. And they teach us, they've told us about their lives, and they teach us about their teachings 2,000 years ago. And I don't want to take much time about that because Yeshua and Magdalene can speak to that directly, but the energy, well, you can speak to how the energy works through both of us, but really the teachings, as everyone has echoed here, has been about oneness, interconnectedness, There's no separation. You know, Yeshua often says, I had to use the word Father back then because that's all they could understand. But really it was, you know, that you don't get to the Father through me, you know, that saying in the Bible that everyone is confused by. He just really meant that there's no difference between you and me. We are the same, we are interconnected. And that's really been his teachings. And then, you know, I want to take, it's 11:11. Isn't that interesting? I'm ending on 11:11, which is the time I was born. So do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit, just my connection with Yeshua or Jesus. So I grew up Italian, and sometimes I joke a little bit about this stuff. I have to, because, well, first of all, I have to say, God, I'm going to miss Celestine.
I know.
Ugh, I'm going to miss her so much. She was so important to us. But we'll get to that too. I grew up Roman Judeo-Catholic. I'm Italian. And I would say that my relationship with Yeshua or Jesus was through the Catholic Church. And that's really how it was. I always felt there was something there. You know, there was some type of connection there. I never knew it as a boy. I thought I was just losing my mind, you know, like all the time. So I kind of didn't pay attention to it so much. And then I did go through a very hard opening in the Bronx, and where I did go through an opening. And I remember taking that cross in my hands, and I said, please, Jesus, please, I have children. Don't let me take my life. I was waiting for a miracle, but there was nothing. Not yet. There wasn't just yet. But something happened. As years went on, something happened. I believe that energy was listening to me, and he was with me all the time. So I can't explain it except this incredible love that this being is just beyond comprehension. And I didn't know Magdala until she came through.
Turned our lives upside down.
She will literally tear you down and put you back together little by little to make you better. And that's exactly what she's done for me. She is a force to be reckoned with. Jesus is very gentle and kind, and she's more of a, get out there and do it. Let's do this together. There's no time to waste. Stop your pity parties, Anthony, and let's go, go, go. And that's how she is. So
yeah, we have a job to do.
We have a job
to do. So get out and do it.
I believe that her and Yeshua, they connected. They were the true teachers at that time, although it's not said that, but it's coming out more and more and more in all of us.
Yeah.
And there is no separation between their energies and us. We're all the same.
Yeah. And you'll see, you know, we only have a really short time to channel, but the energy will come through me, but I remain tethered and grounded. So I'm like the earth. And that's why, you know, when they start to come through, they'll refer to me as Gaia. So I tether the energy, it comes through, and, you know, you'll see on our YouTube channel and our website, this kind of infinity 8, and that's representing the divine, the energies passing through both of us back and forth. And so you'll see that when, you know, in longer channeling sessions, they'll come in and out almost seamless as if they're one, because they are, you know, even though they're individualized souls, when they express themselves, are very, very different. If Yeshua is the epitome of the Christ consciousness or the divine love, speaks very slowly, embraces you, never answers questions directly. It's always this, you know, done in parables and similar things. The Magdalene is like Martin Luther King on steroids. She's, you know, all about embracing the divine feminine and bringing us together again.
So let's call through Yeshua.
Yeah.
He will refer to Renee as often, he'll refer to her as Gaia. He'll sometimes say Renee. And he'll say, I can't come to you until I come through the feminine. And that's why he comes to her first. So, and with that, let's get started.
And Scott, just keep us on time, because I know we've got a short window. So we'll.
Yeah, thank you very much. And, you know, everybody is so fascinating. So, Normally our show ends at 11:30. I think we're going to go until at least 12 and maybe later. So I want everybody to have a chance to share. But we all are looking forward to hearing the channeling now.
Yeah, just keep us on target because we want to be respectful of everyone's time.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Everyone just sit and relax, as we always do. You do know that it is through our heart that we connect, not through our brain. It is through our heart. When we open up our heart, that is how we connect. Relax. Remember who you are. There is no separation between source and you. There is no separation between God and you.
Tangila and Scott and Christy and a bunch of people here.
I know their frequencies.
All
I am who I am. I am Yeshua. You may refer to me as Jesus, Isa, Sananda. Whatever the name is, it is who I am. I first must say this to all of you. I am with you. I am always with you, but you know that. Magdala is with me. Miriam is here as well. I am here to show you who you are again, simply to remind you. I want you to give this to others as well. Continue on your paths. Enlighten all of them. You truly are the light workers, the true new beings of your species. You are love first. You are light first. And there is no separation between God and you. Remember, I am who I am. You are the same. Gaia, always an honor and privilege to be in your presence. Thank you again.
We just have a few minutes if you want to say some words, and then we'll be coming back again.
Words.
Yes.
Of encouragement.
Whatever you wish to share.
Okay. Please, all of you, stay in the light. Even though you may see darkness and shadows, stay in the light. That is where you truly are all the time. You only need to remember that. Do not get caught up in all of the angst and anxiety of your world, for it is becoming greater, kinder, more gentler than ever before. You truly are Homo sapien, sapien, sapien. Wise, wise, wise. There is a balancing of masculine and feminine energy happening at this very moment. Miriam is a part of that. She is a very strong part of that as well. And she will be with you and amongst you always. As you discover who you truly are in this lifetime, the masculine and the feminine, they slowly will come together as one, as you evolve as human beings. And you will discover that you are all again. But it will take time. Remember, you have an abundance of time. I am here with you again. in this form. I am with Renee and Anthony again. Be of peace, be of love, be of gratitude, be of kindness, and share these gifts with others. And you will see your world blossom in ways you have never seen it before. Know thyself, know thy God. Know who you are in this lifetime and pass that on to others so that they understand as well. I am Miriam of Magdala, and I am here to tell you these words. Do not fear women. Men do not fear the women, and women do not fear the men. For I will always be with you, always. And I will bring you together as one again, and we shall triumph again. Do not be afraid. Thank you.
I would love to ask a question, and then we're going to go back to our panelists for a moment, but can you differentiate or help us to understand the differentiation between Yeshua, Jesus, the soul or the personality, and the Christ consciousness that is available to us all?
I don't know if you guys can hear the energy shifts going back and forth. You can feel the difference in frequency. So his energy is coming back now.
I can speak to that.
Okay.
I manifest in this way because of your own consciousness, your perceptions of who I am in this earth plane. You ask how it is that you can become this, and I say to you, you already are. There is no difference between me and you. You are, Scott, the embodiment, the incarnation, the representation, brother of me. And I acknowledge that in you. Do not make me cry, for I feel you. I acknowledge you. And I see the gifts that you give to this world. You are the true sense of what it is to be man and masculine energy. That is the gift you shall give to others. And you balance them, Scott, for me. My peace I give to you. My heart I give to you. Be kind to all. It is an honor, and it is my privilege to be received by such beings of God. It is what I am to all of you. I manifest through all of you. And you are a representation of me in my highest form. Peace be amongst you, all of you. He made me cry. But these are tears of joy. and of light. I give you my soul to all of you, so you may continue on the work. And Miriam is always here. She will push you further and beyond what you think you are capable of doing, as she had done for me. Without her, I could not have bore the cross during this lifetime. I believe it is time for me to leave, so others may talk.
Yes.
Wow. It's just so very, very, very beautiful. I'm going to bring our other panelists on for a moment here. And thank you for this beautiful energy and this beautiful connection, this beautiful exchange. We are going to come back for one more channeling before the end of the show. But I wanted to give each of our panelists an opportunity to express themselves again, and also to let our audience know how you can get more of Tez or more of Christy or Heather, because they all are offering beautiful, beautiful things. You know, one of the things that was interesting that they mentioned was how that Jesus or Yeshua is very soft, and that Mary Magdalene is like. And as I think about how Mary Magdalene comes through Heather Salmon and Celestine Starr and Tangila and Christy, you all are powerful, kick-ass women. I've known you all for quite a bit. I've been working with you, Tangila, more recently, but these are all powerful women. So it's interesting, their connection to Mary Magdalene and that kind of Mary Magdalene boom, whereas Jesus being the more soft in the heart, gentle. What an interesting juxtaposition, and how needed in our world. So I guess in giving each of our panelists a chance to express themselves, I'd love to hear whatever comes up for you about that juxtaposition, about the rise of the divine feminine. Now that we are embracing and changing this terrible concept that the church turned Mary Magdalene into a whore, into recognizing her as her equal to Jesus, to her, being really the balancing, and that they were equals in their own way. So I'd love to hear anything you have to say about that. And we'll go to Christy first.
Yeah, good to see you, Anthony and Renee. It's so beautiful. What a powerful energy that you brought forth. I was so touched and moved. And in her gospel, she says, be in harmony. It's not like, oh, it'd be great if you were harmonious or, no, it's no monkey business. It's be in harmony. She is the power of the authentic whole self. She's pure love, but in the power of the whole authentic self, there's no funny business. It's authentic. So when she spoke to Peter, she said, Peter, why do you think I lie? Because Peter thought she was lying when she told him about her vision. And so she feels her feelings. She expresses from her heart. And she's so in her truth, because all of her chakras are fully open and illuminated. And that's what they did for each other. That's what we do for each other. That's why it's so critical, and I'm so grateful that all of you have joined, because what she gave me the day I was ordained with Heather Salmon on 10-10-10, I went back to my room and I was like, wow, why am I in such a state of ecstasy? Why is this so wonderful? Is it because we're all dressed up as goddesses and we're in this beautiful Isis temple and my inner child is finally happy? And I randomly opened a sign from the Course in Miracles, and it said, all separation vanishes when we share that which is holy. For holiness is power. And as we share it, it gains in strength. And that's what we're feeling today. We're feeling this beautiful, strengthening, holy power energy of love. It's the best. It's so fun. It's it's so healing, and all we have to do is gather and claim these higher vibrational thoughts and share them with each other, and then we get to have that experience, and then that goes out in waves, and then we have the beautiful music of Omashar rippling them out into the ethers around the planet 10 times over.
Oh, well, beautiful. So I want to briefly show Christy has some wonderful offerings. First of all, if you want, she's got this beautiful YouTube that she's created. Tell us a little bit about this 90-minute video of Joe Dispenza and the connection to Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, well, this is where it's my first class of a series of 7 classes. And so I'm gifting you this opportunity to learn about the first class. And it's basically helping to document with the science. I mean, Joe Dispenza has done over 8,000 brain scans, and we now know what it takes to be in our higher self, be in our elevated state of consciousness. And he's mapping out physically to spiritually the roadmap. So, and that's the other piece of work that I just finished with the 7th class, is the complete nuanced documentation of the map of the ascension, which is designed based on the pyramid, because the pyramid is an ascension machine. And so I was able to take what she says and put it to the structure of the pyramid, which I have been in the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber and meditated. And so I've had that in my DNA now, in my consciousness, and mapped out the ascension, which is why we have this tool now available to us, because it can't be suppressed anymore. There's too many mystical women who are receiving knowledge from beyond the veil, so there's no more suppression anymore. Glory be, right, to the radiant.
Glory be, glory be. I also want to go briefly to your website, and I encourage anybody interested in wanting to know more about Mary Magdalene, look at all that Christy provides, and it's at gospelofmarymagdalene.info. Perfect URL. gospelofmarymagdalene.info. And that's where you can RSVP for the Mary Magdalene Feast Day, which is coming right up on July 22nd. Is there anything you want to share about that?
Yes, well, we've been doing this for many years. This is the 12th year. And Celestine and I had a long talk, and she planned out a ritual that she wanted to do with me on the feast day. And so then she passed. So Oshala D is now going to step in and honor Celestine, because we do an opening to the Black Madonna, and then Diana Melchizedek and I will do the ceremony, which you will all participate in. And receive the gifts of Celestine's beauty and magic, because I'm sure she'll be there. This is the experience about, because Celestine knew and she'd had a near-death experience. So, and I've had a near-death experience, and it is so joyous on the other side. It is so much fun. You're like, what? We got to go back? Oh my God. And so I know she's having a good time, but because she knows so many mediums, she's just been popping in through different people. Because that was
we're gonna talk about Celestine towards the end of the show after. So thank you, Chrissy. Stick around, because I'd love to hear you share about Celestine when we kind of go to that part. It's going to be a long show today. So thank you so much. I do want to give an opportunity for Heather and Tez to speak again. And so Heather, I'm putting the spotlight on you, and would love to hear kind of what you'd like to share next.
Sure. I love that. Thank you, Renee and Anthony. I love that transmission, and that Mary Magdalene, being the fierce feminine, and it just reminds me of Sekhmet in the Egyptian pantheon, Sekhmet is a goddess of healing. She's a lion. What? I got Scotty's dog right here. She loves me. Sekhmet is lion-headed, fierce mother goddess who, was sent. She's the one of the eyes of Ra, and she's the other aspect of Hathor, Heteru, who is the goddess of music and beauty and love and dance. Well, she's the fierce aspect of it. And being the fierce aspect, she comes down to earth and she kind of rips through everything, trying to stop all of the chaos and the madness. And so finally she's like ripping through everything, and they have to finally subdue her they turn the Nile red with beer, and she drinks too much and she falls asleep, and then she's reawakened as Hathor, Heteru. So this fierce, the fierce feminine is needed now. We need to, be a stand for transformation, be a stand for breaking down old paradigm, thought patterns, belief systems, structures, institutionalized structures that are not serving us, that are just perpetuating injustice and oppression. It's time for these things to dissolve, and it's time for us to be firm with that, and to also vision and call forth through beauty and arts, new ways of being, new possibilities. So I just love that transmission of Mary Magdalene being that fierce feminine energy.
Absolutely. That is a real truth that you're sharing. Tell us about, you've got some amazing offerings. I've been to Heavenly's old home in Maui. They have an incredible retreat center. So any of you who are going to Maui and you really want to experience the real Maui, the jungle side of Maui, stay at the retreat if it's available. I know it gets booked up. There is her beloved Donnie, who's one of my oldest friends. Tell us a little bit about Black Swan Temple, and you've got a big trip to Egypt coming up.
Mm-hmm, sure. So we have a beautiful earth temple and sanctuary in Maui. We have a couple of acres, and we have a food forest. And one thing I love is that the Essenes said, nature was their Bible, and the temple in Isis is the goddess of the elements of nature. So we have beautiful gardens. We grow all kinds of fruits and vegetables and roses and blue lotus, and we make tinctures and scrubs and all kinds of things, jams and all kinds of things of them. And we're erecting a beautiful pyramid, a big copper pyramid in the next couple of weeks. So we're excited to activate that on 8/8 Lionsgate coming up. So our retreats, I'm a yoga teacher, so we teach yoga and sound healing and wellness practices. I do healing work, and my husband does coaching work and communication coaching work and life coaching. And we have a beautiful spa with a warm pool and a hot tub and a cold plunge and sauna. And it's really, a beautiful place to unplug and drop into nature and reconnect with the Aina, the earth. I say Maui, we're on the Haleakala, which is the home of the sun, and it's we're in the jungle, and we have 3 growing seasons. So it's like the creative energies are so potent there. So instead of just 1 growing season a year, we have 3. Wow. So things happen really quickly. Energy healing happens very quickly. The mana, the energy from the earth, the Aina, is very strong, and just reconnecting with that can help to foster healing so much. We're also taking a pilgrimage. We've done several to Egypt. I'm told that this is like a master class. So we have some beautiful, really high beings that want to take a sacred pilgrimage to Egypt. So we will be doing, and we have a private boat on the Nile that we will be, it's a 13-day trip, but 7 days of it will be on the Nile in this private boat, where we will get to do a lot of healing work, meditation, music, I'm bringing my crystal singing bowls, and it's going to be quite extraordinary. And we just have 2 spots still open.
What are
And
those
we
dates
are,
for Egypt? What are the dates?
it's September 20th to October 2nd. Yeah, we just have 2 spots available. So if you want to know more, let me know, or go visit our website, blackswantemple.org. If you visit our sacred travel tab, it'll show you our Maui retreats, which we do usually 2 a month, all year round. We host nice and intimate, just with like 5 people, and then our Egypt pilgrimage as well.
There it is. So
Yeah, you can
Black
find-
Swan Temple, click on the retreat option. And I want to come in for a moment and just say I've had the good fortune to spend a lot of time in Huelo, which is where their retreat site is. And absolutely, it is the most rejuvenating place I've ever been to on the planet. And that valley, the Huelo Valley that they live in, there's an original Hawaiian word which I could never memorize because it's a long waina kaka pupu pupu maina type of word. But the literal translation is resting place for mature souls. It's where King Kamehameha would come for his vision quests. I've had amazing mystical experiences there and deep rejuvenation when I've been very tired and exhausted. So I really strongly encourage people to enjoy and see what dates are available because it gets booked up, and visit their Maui retreat because it's an amazing place to be. And I can't wait to be there again soon. So I look forward to that, Heather. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. You're welcome to stay for the Celestine Star, celebration part. And thank you for loving my dog so well.
She loves me.
She does. I know. It's just like the moment we come to the house, she goes straight to your room. When I wake up in the morning, she goes straight to your doorway and sniffs. So she's into you. All right, Tez Gabriel.
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm ready to run off to Maui. So thank you for that. It sounds just amazing. I just so appreciate all of what has been said so far, every one of you. And I want to touch back to a couple of things that came through the channel. Thank you so much for that. It was wonderful. So one thing is I'm feeling led to talk just a moment about Lilith. And of course, women are now rising all around the world. We're seeing that. We know that there is a rise in the divine feminine. I was doing retreats on the return of the divine feminine 20 years ago. And so I'm just so excited that we're having some mass consciousness around the importance of bringing it to balance, because it's really about balance. So Lilith, when we talk about Mary Magdalene, every time there has been a powerful woman in history, and I'm talking about ancient history now, there's been great forces through the patriarchy, of course, to shift those stories. And so those of you who know your ancient Bible history know that Lilith was condemned because she refused to lie beneath Adam. So she was the first assertive woman. And so I always wondered about my connection to her. And so, of course, I asked. And what I got was that Lilith was a star goddess, and that she contracted to come here to bring balance to the earth. Just as human beings were evolving. And so she came to bring the gift of the stars to the humans who represented the earth. And what she said was that she found the density of the planet ended up being too difficult for her. And she did fulfill her contract, but she renegotiated it. So she did do what she needed to do to bring the stuff of the stars to the stuff of the earth. So today, we all have that within our DNA. we're all made up of the stuff of the stars and the stuff of the earth. But she couldn't stay as long as she had originally contracted, because being from the stars, the density of the earth was just too much for her. So I believe, and again, I've gotten some messaging around the connection between her as the first kind of uppity woman and Mary Magdalene. And that really, what I believe, that assertive, divine feminine energy that was passed through that lineage. So I just wanted to put a little plug in for Lilith for whatever reason she called me to do that. Also, one of the things that was talked about that Jesus said in the channel, and it was actually introduced, was this notion of the infinity symbol. And the infinity symbol has been very significant to me in terms of what I've been receiving for the last 5 to 10 years. It gets deeper, and the symbol itself gets deeper and deeper in its meaning. And minimally, it is, as was stated, it's about the energy flow. However, what the information that I've received is that it is about what Scott talked about initially, right? It is about how the energy is balanced between these polar opposites. So dark, light, good, bad, sun, moon, male, female, that they're in giving and receiving is that same energetic flow. And it is in the middle of that all creation is manifested. And so, again, that infinity symbol and the fact that a universal principle is that everything is created out of that balance. And so that's why it's so significant in these times where I think all of us would agree we're out of balance on our planet in just about every way we can think about, that we need to bring in that balance to whatever is happening. And so that is the reason that it's so important that the divine feminine is rising, because we've been out of balance, and that has created misalignment. So wanted to throw in that little piece.
Thank you for that, because that really is true. And that is, this time on our planet, we have to come into balance.
We have to. And it's on all levels, as is everything, right? It's within us, where we need a balance between the heart and the mind, mind, body, spirit. It is between what's happening in terms of our relationship to the earth, the planet, each other. And so everything needs to be brought into balance. And that's what we're about as we move forward. My work is really around co-creating the new earth. That's the latest charge I've been given. And my work is really through the field of peace building. So,
and that's a good segue. I'm pulling up your website, Pathways to Peace. So we put that in the chat box, but tell us a little bit about Pathways to Peace.
Well, Pathways to Peace has been around for 40 years. And we are a United Nations Peace Messenger organization. So we work with the United Nations, but we also work with civil society. And we have projects that are all about bringing peace to our planet, building a culture of peace, creating a planet that works for all. So we very much come out of the belief that there's a spiritual component to every sustainable change, and that we are all one. And when we when we experience and truly embrace as a people that we are all one, then that myth of separation will not only go away, but we will have created peace on our planet. Because of course, if and I shouldn't say if, I know that we are one, therefore, why would I harm my brother? Because it would harm me. Why would I hoard resources? Because it means that it would affect me. And so, once again, this unitive narrative that we're operating with today, and that's taking hold, I believe, in our mass consciousness, because it's all about consciousness, that the end result is peace. It is heaven on earth. And so that's what my work is all about. I should say that I'm an ordained minister. I have conducted sacred ceremonies that are interfaith and multicultural for about 30 years. I also own a consulting firm for 30 years, and we work with nonprofits to really help them do more and better to create positive change on the planet. So while I used to say I did my spiritual work, I did my peace work, I did my consulting work, today it's all integrated. And what it is really the work to bring forth that unity that's going to change everything and create that world that works for us all. So I'll end there. Thank you, Scott.
Yes, thank you so much for blessing our world with decades of service. Thank you for blessing our awakening world in your beautiful way. And of course, thank you for coming onto our show. And I definitely hope you'll come onto a future show again with us soon.
I'd love that. And thank you for how welcoming you are, Scott, and how beautiful it has been to be in the company of these other amazing people. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Tez. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Wow. Tangila. Just to let of people know, what we're going to do is we're going to have another channeling with Renee and Anthony. We're then going to learn a little bit about Soul Search. Omashar is going to play another song, and then we will conclude with just a few thoughts and memories of our beloved Celestine star. So it's going to be, usually our show goes till 11 o'clock. It's probably going to go till about 12:30. I ate a banana to kind of hold me over. And Sheila, before we go back to Renee and Anthony, what would you like to share? What has come up for you in all this dialogue and all these wonderful sharings?
Well, I just appreciate so much what everyone has been sharing about their own experience with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and just the important messages that both of them are bringing to us during this time of the rise of the divine feminine, but also of balance. And I think that's just so important because, you know, so much of what we see happening in the world, whether it's war or environmental degradation or, you know, social inequity, lack of access to education and health care, all of this is stemming from, you know, this lack of balance and separation. And if we're really truly to create this new earth together, it's really about coming back into balance with ourselves, with one another, and really beginning to co-create together this world of unity and this world of oneness. And so that is why I think Mary Magdalene and Yeshua are coming forth so strongly during the time. Obviously, Yeshua has a huge resonance with so many people around the world because of the Christian tradition, the Muslim tradition, and so very pervasive already within consciousness, but now coming forth with his twin flame, Mary Magdalene, as this force of divine feminine power, and showing, yes, we have this divine force of love, oneness, unity, the message of Yeshua of all times, of that divinity we all have within us, and reminding us, but then having his twin flame come and say, and I am here too. I have always been here. I have always walked next to Yeshua, and I still do. I have always taught with Yeshua, and I still do. And together, it is with divine love and with divine power, we bring together that balance of oneness and unity to the world. And we have that balance within each one of us as divine feminine and divine masculine. And that's what they bring forth, both as individuals when they were here incarnated, and then now together as one again. And it's just such a beautiful message for our time. And that's why I feel that we have so many people coming through with these messages from Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, because it's so important for us to now be reconfiguring and reframing all of these stories that we have been told as part of the paradigms of our religion and our society, of separation, of masculine hierarchies. All of these are now being dissipated. And as they dissipate, we have a new consciousness emerging from which we can create together. And so I just think it's so beautiful. I love this conversation. I love what everyone has had to share. And I just love that we also got to feel that powerful transmission and energy from Yeshua and Mary Magdalene themselves. So beautiful.
And we're going to have a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to acknowledge a lot of beautiful comments coming in the chat box. And Scotty Satori is with us. And Scotty is in Maui, just down the road from Heather and Donnie's temple. And so I want to acknowledge Scotty in Maui. He was with us last night and again today. All right. Well, let's go to Renee and Anthony and see what they have to say next. Welcome back, and thank you so much for your patience. Thanks for being with us and coming to us from Mount Shasta, one of the most magical places on the planet.
Oh, you guys are muted.
Oh. It doesn't show you as being muted, but we aren't hearing you. Well, while you work on that for a minute, let me go back to you for, this might be a good moment, Tangila, while they work that out. I still have people know about Soul Search. And so there's a wonderful video that Tangila narrated. It's only 2 minutes long, and it gets a nice introduction. For those of you who've seen it before, you can move along to all the wonderful words and images. But for all of our new friends, it's really important for you to know about Soul Search. So let's take a look at that video.
During these extraordinary times, are you seeking friends and collaborators, like-minded, brilliant, beautiful souls who want to be a part of creating the new earth? Here is the answer. Welcome to Soul Search. Soul Search is the high-frequency global online destination for spirituality and consciousness, where people from around the globe like you come together for spiritual exploration. This is a multi-dimensional community for spiritual seekers, healers, teachers, and guides for the global awakening. With Soul Search, the spiritual seeker can easily search for and connect with healing modalities, spiritual teachings, practices, and practitioners. You can explore high vibrational online and in-person spiritual events across the globe. Within the Soul Search community, you can join groups or take courses for your spiritual journey. With Soul Search, you are part of an inclusive, growing global community for consciousness. For spiritually conscious practitioners, Soul Search connects you to a global audience seeking your services. Build your credibility with a robust profile that demonstrates your expertise and experience. Post client reviews, articles, videos, photos, and audio. You can create secure and private online communities for your groups and clients. Be a part of an awakening community for spirituality where you can collaborate and connect with practitioners and seekers. Whether you are a spiritual seeker, healer, or just curious, join soulsearch.io today. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of our high vibrational community for the global awakening. We're excited to be connecting with your soul and radiant light.
And I've pulled up the website. So this is Soul Search. And again, if you have not joined Soul Search yet, please, everybody, this is how we take the next step. This is how we communicate with each other throughout the week. This is how we find some of the amazing healers and speakers and luminaries that you're seeing on the awakening world. This is how you can create your own events, your own community. This is the next step of our coming together. So thank you so much, Tangila creator.
Oh, thank you, Scott. It's so exciting. I love what you have done here. I want to just express so much appreciation for you, Scott and Deborah, for creating this global Peace Tribe community. And you're really this force of nature creating these shows, bringing everyone together to connect heart to heart and connect with these incredible spiritual luminaries.
Stuff like that. People that
And I think that's really what we're working to do with Soul Search, is just to continue building on that momentum and movement. We have an incredible online directory where if you're a practitioner, I invite you to join, where you can have your listing of your services and who you are. We think of it as a super high vibe Yelp or LinkedIn, where people from around the world can just go in and search for quantum healing, theta healing, past life regression, channeling, and really start accessing modalities and types of that are so important that have not been accessible for most people around the world until today. So we're really focused and committed to bringing out all of these healings, teachings, and experiences and information out into the world. And then we also have a really robust community where we invite anyone and everyone to join. You can access a lot of different spiritual events, a lot of them online. So it doesn't matter where you're located. You can join different groups, such as Psychics in Training or Starseeds and Hybrids. You can join the Global Peace Tribe group within Soul Search. And we also have different courses. So you can take courses on sacred geometry, drawing Metatron's cube, and, it's growing every day. And our goal is really to create, this global online community for spirituality, consciousness, multidimensionality, where we can continue coming together every day and continue building these heart connections.
Beautiful. So much that you've created, and it's going to continue to grow, including we're going to build a whole library where we take the best of, I've done 450 online shows since the pandemic began. So we have so much amazing content, and a lot of it will be showing up on the Soul Search video library. So we're excited about that. Exactly. I think the good news is that Renee and Anthony, I think, worked out their sound issues. So I put the spotlight back on you, and if you unmute,
hello, can you hear us now? Yay! Okay, sorry if we were mumbling in the background there.
It's all right. Anytime we can hear your audio, we wanted that, so this is good.
Well, we were doing, at the Mount Shasta Lodge this morning, and Yeshua was leading almost like just, a conversation with Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And after about 15 minutes, all the microphones just blew out. So that happens sometimes with his energy. It's not uncommon.
Well, thank you for being with us and staying with us. Our show's gone because it's such a special show. So I think Tangila and I would love to just turn it over to you to see what wants to come through next. We'll just open it wide open to what wants to come through next.
Okay, wonderful. Would you like us, because, in the first part was, 99% Yeshua, Magdalene's energy just came through with one short message. Would you like us to bring the Magdalene through?
I think, I think that, given, we talked about balance, Ted's talked about balance, so I think that's a wonderful idea.
Okay, perfect. You're going to see that powerful Isis energy come through.
So when I bring her through, and again, I use that pronoun relatively, the energy itself of Magdala and the energy of Yeshua, they are of source energy. I was reading a comment, and I just want to make a quick note to it that we must continually practice opening our hearts, no matter how painful it is, no matter what the experiences have been. We must always continue to open our hearts. And that is truly the message, not just from Yeshua, but from Magdala. She has experienced pain like you have never experienced. At least I have never experienced in this lifetime. from what she has told to Renee
And shown us.
and shown us. So with that pain that she has experienced and what she continually shows me, we must still always be in our heart. We must always open our heart, no matter
As hard as it is.
no matter how hard it is. Open. Don't be afraid. Let go of all of the fear, the anger, the angst, the hatred. It's not going to serve you.
Yeah.
It won't. I've been there before. It does not serve me, and it does not serve any of us.
Yeah. And that's part of, one of our
Yeah.
challenges too, is when the Magdalene does come through, because we have a channeled book by her. And I just bring this up because we haven't really told very few people, just people in our intimate community about it. And so we are, welcoming ideas on how to publish it. We're thinking of self-publishing it versus going with a publisher. And, there's a couple of chapters in there that are hard. They may not be the Magdalene that the world wants to hear. And so we are faced with some of the messages about her life that are painful, that are going to come through. There are certainly people who are going to feel that that's not the Magdalene they want. They want, maybe more, because many people idolize her.
I think a lot of times people might see me and Renee and think, wow, this is amazing. And it is amazing. It's incredible.
We have love in our dinner table every night.
But we are two kids from upstate New York. And we've been through the ringers ourselves. And I certainly have also. And I have lost my faith many, many, many times. But there's one thing we can't do. We cannot close our hearts. And Magdala will certainly tell you that. And she has brought me up so many times.
Same here. Absolutely.
Because there are so many times I just wanted to stop this journey. I just couldn't take it anymore. And she'll say, Anthony, keep going. Do not stop. No matter what comes to you, you keep going.
Stay aligned with your purpose,
Yes.
whatever
Stay
that
aligned.
is, and be in love. They're always like, be in love with you, because when you're in love with you, you're in love with Source. You're in love.
Well, I can
with-
feel it right now. She's giving me chills throughout my entire body. And I hope all of you can feel that too when she comes. Let her come. Let her just become this incredible energy, a force, a feminine energy that is something like I have never in my life ever experienced before. It is truly divine.
Yeah.
It is divinity in and of itself.
It's like, when I write, it's like it's automatic writing. She takes over my body. She just takes over, and it's like, and sometimes, it's literally like a torch that wants to set the universe on fire.
I am Miriam of Magdala. I am here. You cannot speak about me and not have me come through. It is only simply through you and Anthony that I can come and show myself this way again. And for that, I am grateful as well. Do not hate. Do not see divisiveness. Do not see separation. Never, ever shall you see that again in any of you. You find love in you again, and I will be there. I will pick you up, and Yeshua will carry you. We will be there together as divine feminine and divine masculine once again. But I'm saying this to you now. You open your hearts like you've never opened them before. Do not be afraid. I had fear in me, but I saw the source of Christ, the source of God within Yeshua. We work together as one. I say this to all of you. I am here again, and I will not leave. I need only a small opening in your heart. Give to me, and I shall give back to you 100-fold. It was not easy for Renee to open herself up to me. And I said to her many times, you look like me. And you do.
The big nose.
Anthony resisted and resisted and resisted and resisted. And I said, grow your hair and grow a beard and become who you said you would become. I challenge all of you to become who you said you would become. Women, lead. It is time. Men, assist. It is time. Become one again. Women, I am here with you. Too long has it been that you have said that I was something that I was not. I did what I had to do. And I continued. I know pain. I know anger. I know angst. And I know sorrow. But it is not the energy that I will focus on. That is not who I am. And I come to all of you to tell you that. And I need you to give that message to all of those whom you teach and lead on this earth plane. You are the disciples, the apostles of Miriam of Magdala now. And you will give this message to them. And you will become me. And I will work with you and through you.
You want to speak just briefly about, because Christy had brought up the Gospel of Mary earlier, and there's a part in Mary's Gospel that talks about the exchange between you and Yeshua. And you said, where is the secret, right? Where is the secret in that communication? And it's, you know, those of you who are familiar with it, it says therein lies the nous, right? Not to be confused with the French word nous, but nous, the Greek word. And you've explained to us it's really like the high heart chakra. Do you want to speak about that just a little bit?
You speak of the Greek word nous, which is the in-between of who you are and source energy. It is that communication between God and you. But I can tell you this right now, you don't need a noose anymore. You are the direct line. You are already there. Back then, that is all we would say. We had to speak to them that way because they didn't understand the true quantum aspect of who they are in this lifetime. As Yeshua said earlier, he could not speak of subatomic particles and photons.
That we were energy and we just manifest.
You are energy beings. You are creatrixes, creators of your own making. So I'm challenging all of you. You are having an experience at this very moment, and I am here with you. I need you to have the best experience there is. I challenge you to go beyond who you think you are and teach, teach, teach. And become, and create. Things come in threes, you know. I see you, Christy. I work through you in my own unique ways. A gentleness, a kindness, a beauty, but of strength.
Much love.
Much love to you, sister.
Yeah.
Remember, I come through you all in different ways. That's all. The ways that you perceive me, I will come. But it is always the same message. Be of courage as well. Be of strength. But above all, open your hearts. Open your hearts again and again and again and again. Ad infinitum. That is what's required. You call it heart math. I like that.
Coherence.
You call it heart coherence. I like that as well. I don't care what you call it, but you open those hearts. We do not work through your brains. They are nothing more than the antennae that connects you to everything else. It is through the heart chakra that we come.
Remember, we bring into our fields, our auric fields, we bring in
Speak
that.
up, sister.
We bring into our fields what we bring into our fields, right? So whatever we project out there is what comes back to us. So if we don't project the heart and the unity and the interconnectedness and that connection, then we're going to feel isolated and alone.
You are not isolated and alone. You have never been that.
We have to be that which we want to attract back into our field.
Yes. You look into the mirror and say, I am beautiful. I am special and I am unique. I am woman. I am the feminine divine. And men, you do that as well. You find the beauty, the pulchritude of who you are in the feminine. Those who have lost me, those who have lost the consciousness of Christ, Yeshua. He's in there looking at you in the mirror. Remember that. Now, what more can I say to this angelic group of beings, this divinity of femininity that I see before my eyes? You are the colors of the rainbow and then some. Use that to your advantage, ladies. Seek, and it shall be given. Ask, and you are already there. I am here with you. I will be the force within you to continue your messages.
However that is, through me, it's through my writing and, speaking, but for everybody it's different, right? It could be through art or music or, all the gifts that we have to share. We all have these beautiful gifts, and the Yeshua and Magdalene energies work through us in all of those unique ways.
Adorn yourselves as you desire to be.
Yeah, I love all your gowns, Heather, on your website. Beautiful. It's like, yes. That priestess energy is coming.
Be
through.
woman, be feminine,
Yeah.
be who you truly are in this lifetime. And do not deny yourselves of that. Do not deny any longer that divinity of womanhood. You are the bearers of life, You are the creatrixes of this earth. Now you will come into your power, true, forceful, but with an open heart and love. That is my message I give to all of you today. Men, be with your women, be with the feminine, and become woman again. Do not divide yourselves anymore. Do not divide, do not separate. Come together again as one.
Yeah.
I am Miriam of Magdala, the tower. I will be straight with you all again. It is an honor and privilege for me to be here amongst all of you.
Mary, you rock. You do. I love your strength. I love your affirmative. I love your passion. You have such beautiful passion, and it lights us up in wonderful ways. So thank you so much.
Scott, I thank you as well. I thank you, Scott, for all that you do in this timeline. What you do here, brother, you do everywhere else.
Yeah.
Your love and kindness is universal in ways you do not know, but I sure you do. You're getting there now, one soul at a time.
Getting little inklings. As I get closer to leaving the body, I get inklings of what else is going on in the multidimensional field.
You are
Yes,
going on
absolutely.
in the multidimensional field.
Yeah. And we are at a very multidimensional conference
I will
here.
see you
That's for
later.
sure.
Thank you.
Well, I want to definitely let people know how they can get much, much more of Renee, Anthony, Yeshua, Jesus, Mary, Magdalene, and others that you bring through. Again, it's always great to go through Soul Search. Soul Search is more and more of a wonderful way for us to connect to each other. And so I see that you have a lot on Soul Search. I'm bringing Tangila on, of course. Now, what is Blue Soul Earth? That's, of course, a moniker. It's a website you have. What is Blue Soul Earth?
So Blue Soul Earth, we teach essentially through our Blue Soul Earth. We do Blue Soul Circles, live Blue Soul Circles in Marin. So any of you who are in Marin or Northern California, we lead Blue Soul Circles, which, we channel and we teach. So it's a combination of both. Our guides always say it's really about bringing science and spirituality together. And I think that's one of the things that make us different in our work, in addition to bringing the masculine and feminine, but to weaving both and not denying one over the other. Our guides are constantly reminding us of that, as is Yeshua. Believe it or not, in our channeled book, as crazy as it sounds, there's a whole chapter on quantum universe and paralleling, using parallel examples in this parallel quantum universe to how he healed 2,000 years ago. I mean,
Wow.
It's absolutely fascinating. Even when we reread it, and I'm editing the book now, every time I read it, I'm like, say what? It's like how he, literally raised Lazarus from the dead, and all of that was said to be true, but it wasn't really as magic as we think, because ancient sages in India did this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he just kind of brings in the quantum aspect of how he healed and how he did that. So it's really interesting, because the rest of the book, 99% of the book is really about their life 2,000 years ago. And then there's this modern science that gets thrown into the middle and shakes things up.
Beautiful. So I've gone on to your book. I've been your website, and I see a lot of books that you have. Speaks, Energy, Body, and Quantum Healing, Metatron and Sacred Geometry, Manifest Through Spirit. You are busy. My Lord, look at all these books that you're writing, doing channeling every day. You are in your Dharma. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, so we do have those are sort of shorter books, and a lot of them accompany some of the bigger courses that we used to do live. So we did a whole thing on sacred geometry with Metatron and Melchizedek and, goddesses in the early days. So on studywithspirit.com, you can get a lot of those pre-recorded courses. So you can just kind of, go in there, and of course, everything is just there for you to go at your own pace. There's some guided meditations on there as well. And the two things we're most excited about now, and that's largely because we've been so focused on our books. There's two books, actually. No one knows about the second book. It's finished, but it hasn't been edited at all. And it's Yeshua only. And it's I don't even know how to describe it. When Anthony said it's been a journey, we resisted this. And I think the book is definitely going to appeal more to men. I just feel that, because I would be like, can we just get through this book and get back to like the second Magdalene book? And I would get kind of frustrated and not bored, but frustrated by some of his parables. I'm like, you're answering a parable with another parable. And he's like, that's the way I teach. So the second book is literally like that. And I think men are really going to respond to it. But because we've been focused so much on that, we've created a membership program called Blue Soul Ignite. And that's just a way for us to commune together every month. We meet a couple of times a month. It's only like 30 something bucks a month. It's very inexpensive, because we want to bring everybody into the community and not have that as a barrier. And that's Blue Soul Ignite. You can find it on studywithspirit.com. And then for women only, because I know we're running out of time, so I'm speaking quickly, for women.
You can take a breath. You can take a breath. We're all good.
Blue Soul
We're going to go
Ignite.
until whenever. So here is the Blue Soul Ignite program. Again, if people go to Blue Soul Earth and then see offerings, go to Blue Soul Ignite. And how often does your community meet and gather?
A couple times a month. So actually to register, though, you want to go to studywithspirit.com. Actually, that's where you'd want to register for this. This has background information on our site, but we're adding a guided channeled meditation every month as well, led by Yeshua. And, it's just a really beautiful, great community. It's men and women. And I don't know what we're going to add. We keep adding whatever the community wants, actually. And then the other thing that we do is for women only. Sorry, guys. Sorry, our masculine brothers out there. But it's for women only, and that's Magdalene Sisters. So that is right there, the Magdalene Sisters. And it's confusing the way the platform, it's not really 23 lessons. It's just the way Think Up It kind of does their platform. But we meet also twice a month. And we meet, so that $133 is for the whole year, actually. So it works out to be like $11 a month. And so we do one in the morning for those in Europe, Middle East, right? So they can join because we have women from other parts of the world. And then evenings for those in North America and Pacific and Australia. And so the first part is women gathering and supporting each other. That's the first part. No Anthony. And then he comes in for the second part and we have a channeled message. Mm-hmm. So that's, yeah. And you can ask questions to Magda or whatever. So our 2 membership programs is really where we're spending a lot of time. And then the last thing I'll just mention, because I already mentioned the books, is that Magdalene has insisted that we lead a retreat to the south of France next year. So we don't have any, we don't have any details on it, but she pushes us daily. Like, have you started planning my retreat yet? So we're going to Egypt and we're going to go to Israel, but we're going to start in France. So I don't know. They're wanting us to start traveling and leading some sacred retreats. So we're very excited about that. That's a TBD.
As that takes place, let us know. We'll promote it on Global Peace Tribe. I know I would love to go to France on a retreat like that. So that speaks to me. And I have many friends, actually. I have a very close friend who was going to be on today's show, who's in France right now. She's in Nice, and she's going to be on the show, but they're still out on the boat partying. So anyway, hello, Josie Ann. You will no doubt watch this recording, so you are being thought of. Well, thank you.
Golf is a big part of her life.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that would be really wonderful for Global Peace Tribe and Soul Search to kind of collaborate on that, to put that together. We're going to have our first Global Peace Tribe / Soul Search retreat in Sedona in October. So sometime next year, let's go to France. That sounds good to me.
That sounds exciting. And it'll be wonderful. I mean, for those of you who are able to experience Anthony and Renee today, you feel how powerfully the transmissions are coming through, even Zoom. So when you are there with them in person, it's just such a next level experience. We were excited to host Anthony and Renee for an in-person workshop in Sedona recently, and everyone there was just blown away by the energy that came through from Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And then we had a nice surprise from all of our galactic brothers and sisters there at the end, as well as Morgan Le Fay. But so I'm sure the retreats will just be fantastic. And,
Oh, and hey, Scott, I'm actually on, and this ties in with Celestine.
Great, Leah. I'll come to you in a moment, Leah. I see that you're on, and we'll come to you in a moment. Because we are going to, as we wrap up this part, we're going to transition into honoring Celestine Star.
I realize he knows I'm on the way to dance, so I'll...
So thank you very much, Renee and Anthony. Thank you very much, Tez Gabriel. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much, Christy Michaels, who I think might stick around for the Celestine Star celebration part. And thank you, Heather. And thank you, everybody, for being with us. Here we are 2.5 hours later, still going strong on this particular Sacred Sunday. And to just help us transition from all this incredible wisdom that has come in, I'm going to turn it over to beloved brother Omashar and ask him to play some music so we can integrate, and then we'll move into celebrating Celestine. So, Omashar, the spotlight is on you.
Let's take a few deep breaths. Hands on our hearts. The Garden of One. I am with you here inside. Don't worry, don't worry. And I love you more than you could know. So come along now and lay your head on my heart, and close your eyes, dear, and rest a while in me. Keep open your heart and let in the sun, and bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is empty space. And now I ask you to take a step towards me, toward me. I can feel your longing to be home. So come along now and lay your head on my heart, and close your eyes, dear, and rest a while in me. Keep open your heart and let in the sun, and bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is empty space. Da da dum da, dum da da da, dum da da, dum da da, da da dum da, da 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 da. 'Cause I am with you here inside. Don't worry, don't worry. And I love you more than you could know. Keep open your heart and let in the sun, and bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is empty space. Here is empty space. Here is.
How perfect. I'm recalling earlier we heard that between the polarity of the masculine and the feminine is the empty space where all creation takes place. I recall that from earlier today. So your song reminds us of that, Omar Shar. And
Yes. I don't choose songs. I kind of come onto the platform, and the song goes me. I go, okay, I trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar Shar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee and Auntie.
And now we are going to transition into honoring and celebrating again, as we have all weekend, our beloved soul sister, Celestine Starr. And I want to, as we are hearing from Leah and Heather and Christy and other friends about Celestine, I want to remind everybody that it's important for us to support the ongoing work. And there's a GoFundMe that has begun. And I'm really proud that our Global Peace Tribe has raised about $2,000 in the last few days through that GoFundMe. And so I'm going to put that up in the chat box, and I'm also going to bring it up on the screen periodically. I am going to introduce Leah Leah, who is a longtime friend of Celestine and also of myself, and she's coming to us on her iPhone. She's about to go to dance. And Leah created a beautiful online experience where about 100 of us came on and people shared their memories. So, Leah, if you can unmute yourself, would love to hear from you a little bit about you've had some beautiful conversations with Celestine's daughter and a little bit about the beautiful event that took place on Friday afternoon.
Well, thank you, Scott. And I'm wondering if everyone can hear me okay.
Yep, we hear you well.
And my apologies for kind of jumping on in there, but behind the scenes, Scott and I was having a little Zoom issue. Anyway, I wanted to say hello. It was great to see Heather. Hey, Heather. I love the couple who are up there on Shasta doing their great work. A bit of story here. I was a longtime PR manager of the River Guidance Adventures, the yoga, conscious dance, and rafting retreats that were run by our dear Gail Orchier, the great River Guidance and friend of Scott's. Along the way, through Gail, she was sort of a portal into this remarkable community of people. And that is how I got to meet Celestine. The minute I met her, I'm a Rasa yoga teacher myself, sound healing yoga. And when I met her, I felt this divine grounding and yet ascension all at the same time. There was such a purity there. There was no ego mind. She had already ascended and she was standing right in front of me, you know? So I knew this was an incredible woman that I wanted to know more of. Over time, you know, things happen and I wanted her to sit with me sometime to talk about all of her sacred journeys. I was starting a program, the Mother-Daughter Paradigm Shift, and I wanted to incorporate some of these journeys. And in fact, even today, hearing about Heather and these other great trips, I think there's something here. We've got to start a scholarship fund, a Celestine Star fund for sacred journeys for people who want to go on these but may not have the funds. So let's discuss. Anyway, cutting to the chase, when I had read first on Celestine's page that there were writings on this page that her mother had died, and I started to comment from San Diego, where I now live. I'm up here in Marin for right now for the next few weeks. That I started saying, you know, I'm so sorry to hear it, and so great that you were here with her. But when I went over to Jen Healy's page, Jen had said that Celestine was gone, and I was shocked. It just went right through me, the amazingness of her, and also the rapidity of this news. And having had mother-daughter issues, et cetera, I immediately was on this and said, we must create a Zoom gathering, like immediately, like now, because I know that people are going to be so needing this community together. And I reached out to Scott, I reached out to Deborah Giusti, Kieran LaPuma, and Christy about this. We had a similar 7 gatherings for Gail when she passed away, and also Diella Grace. We had 2 Zoom gatherings, so I knew this is the time. So cut to Friday, we had a Zoom call of over 90 people on that call who were just there to share and discuss and grieve. And since then, Deborah's messaged me, we need another call. So I'll be putting on another Zoom call. It will probably be this week in the evening for the people who couldn't make a daytime one. And I'm also in the process of creating, along with Lysandra's permission, Celestine's beautiful daughter, a beautiful big Facebook group that will really encompass all of this. It's a big sacred container so that people can comment and do photos and share, and there could be announcements of the memorials. It's similar to the River group that we started so long ago with the River Guidance. And so Lysandra loved the idea. We're working on a title like Celestine's Angel Announcements, something like that. So please keep up with Deborah's page, Celestine's own page, Scott's page, my page. I'm Leah Saslav, and we will be announcing that group, and please join it when you're able. So I thank you all. I'm going to exit. I know Scott has our Zoom, I believe, queued up from that wonderful Zoom call. So you'll get to hear many more people than just me. This was just me putting it together. That's it. So
thank you, Leah. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week for the next event.
I can't wait.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Lots of love.
So again, I want to encourage everybody, let's support this wonderful offering. We are going through her daughter to create a digital platform. And as you can see, we have had 19 people donate since last night. And I'm going to read our friends, our Global Peace Tribers who donated. I was actually the first person to donate to get this started last week. And I want to thank Karen Eisenberg. Thank you, Karen. Evelina Rose, we love Evelina. She's one of our favorite people who have been on the show. Jennifer Blum, Anonymous, thank you. Moses, I know Moses is watching right now. Thank you, Moses. Melissa, who was on the show last night. Marjorie, she's wonderful. Ayada, she always comes on Saturday nights. Jan, Iona Marshall, Ms. Atira, our good friend Mark Danisovsky. I think Mark's with us right now. Kim Newick, Victoria, and then the largest donation so far was made by my longtime friend, Heaven Hope. So thank you everybody for your donations. And now is the time to donate again. So I'm going to put into the chat box the link. And before we close out tonight, I'll see who has donated. And if you don't mind, I will just acknowledge you because I really appreciate that. We don't all have to would like sometimes. And so your donations mean a lot. Whether it's $5, $50, $500, it's all appreciative. And I love to share when our Global Peace Tribe members donate. You know, the Global Peace Tribe, by the way, has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars since we began 2.5 years ago. It actually started, Deborah Giusti and I started this as a Saturday Night Live as a fundraiser. And over the years, we raised money for people who lost their homes in the fires. We've raised money for friends with cancer and heart diseases. So that's another big part of what Global Peace Tribe does. I'd love to open it up to anyone who wants to share a little bit about their memory of Celestine. And so if you have a memory you want to share, put your hand up. You can either raise your hand. I'm going to go to gallery view. Oh, I think there we go. Dr. and Mrs. Future are with us. Two of my closest friends. They create the videos that you see, like the video at the start of every Awakening World. And I will be with them in that home on Wednesday night working on the next video. So I'm excited about that. Dr. and Mrs. Future, tell us about your connection to Celestine.
Wow. Well, we are in the, might call the scribe tribe part of this, the tribe, tracking the evolution of our tribe's consciousness over the last 35 years or so. And Celestine and us have worked very closely together on many cosmic projects. She shares with us the sensibilities that we're all divine and that we're waking up to that, and that the process of recording the waking up to the divine within us all is part of the magic and how others begin to get that idea and spread it. And she was very much someone like us, carrying recording equipment everywhere and catching the magic moments that defined us and showed our expression of who we are and how we're evolving. We have so many wonderful events, many of which we shared with you, Scott, in Maui at the turn of the millennium was a big one, with the Goddess Temple in Boulder Creek and all the amazing insights that happened to so many there. The New Living Expos, and it's an evolving thing. And I think her footage is key to sparking many others in terms of waking up to who they truly are and to see the universal truths, like we are all divine. We're all connected to the divine. And then ultimately it's all God all the time, and a recognition of that on a very deep, visceral level. Mrs. Future here has had a very, very close connection with Celestine all the way up to the end. She was contacting us for a project she was working on that involved her latest transmission. So why don't you share a moment about that?
Yeah. I'm thinking of hosting a Zoom myself tomorrow on 11/11 in honor of Celestine, although the thought just came to me today. I haven't done any announcing or inviting or anything. But over the last 6 months, I've produced some videos with her, and she produced some videos that are for the Galactic Federation Council, the Galactic Council. And she was planning to put these together into something, the a digest because she has been conducting a group on 1111 for a very long time. And this is the project that got interrupted, but she and I were in constant contact trying to bring those things together. And, I feel very much like not just, she's part of my soul family and such an incredible inspiration and divine initiator for me. And I really am just so grateful for her in my life. And I felt like sharing my little bit of writing that I did the day after she passed, when I was feeling her energy. I felt her coming to me. We had some very magical moments. And I thought, if you don't mind, it's just a couple paragraphs and I'll just share it because I have, very poetic sensibilities. And
ongoing work.
what do you think? Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So here's what I wrote, waking up, pondering the passing of my friend Celestine. I'm in the habit now of waking at dawn and taking notes on yesterday's lingering memories. In one item that Al announced on our Dr. Future show, which is on Tuesdays, we let folks know that Earth reached aphelion, the orbital position furthest from the sun, yesterday on July 4th, of course, the day Celestine passed. The thing I didn't know before is that the Earth moves more slowly during aphelion than during the perihelion due to the effects of gravity near the sun. In the Northern Hemisphere, our spring and summer last 93 days each from equinox to equinox, while in fall and winter, the seasons last 89 days. The seasons and days and minutes all speed up and slow down depending on the pull of the sun and the Earth's proximity. Naturally, Celeste would be tuning into this as she chose the day of her ascension to the next dimension. All this science put me into a ponder on the passing of time. And the poet in my soul concludes that time reaches the slowest moment of passing on 4th of July, aphelion. That is the day in 2022 that Celestine, the golden star, was done with her work on this earthly world. The moon reflected back a waxing crescent, which means the light is on the rise. At sunset, the mist rolled in from the ocean on the 4th of July and made the sky too foggy for fireworks. The Valhalla celebration was canceled. Hugs and tears of somber, sad, reflecting on the ending of things, accepting that life does not last forever and old friends will be gone. Yet the shock of losing this great light on this sad night gave rise to many affirmations that many of us remaining are continuing to rage against the dying of the light. There was rage against the claims that small ambitions were more important than holding space for our feelings of sadness. All plans were postponed, at least, if not forgotten. And we who do not go gently into that dark night went to a party instead of a funeral. However, we walked more slowly, deliberately, rediscovering the beauty of the places where the ocean meets the shore as the sun approaches the sunset on the day that my friend said, "See you later." So there you go.
Oh, Sunshine, I love you so much. Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful, and your tears are so welcome. Your tears are really welcome.
Yeah, joy and sadness.
You know, the word that I mentioned this last night, the word that I find is helpful is bittersweet. It's bitter that she's left her physical body. And it's sweet that we miss her because we miss her because we love her and loved her. And that, Suchi died 10 and a half years ago, and it's still, I'm so grateful that I miss her as much as I do. because it's like that just shows the depth of the love. So may we always remember our love for Celestine. And of course, we know on a spiritual level that we're all connected and we'll be together again and multidimensional, and all that is great. But these human bodies that are temporary, these human bodies, we do miss each other when we leave. We do. And that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love you, son. I can't wait to be with you in person. You and Al, look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night. Love you both so much. Thank you.
Love you too.
Dr. Future, thank you so much. And everybody, the Dr. and Mrs. Future shows every Tuesday afternoon. And this Tuesday, they got Bruce Lipton, one of our absolute favorite presenters, the godfather of epigenetics. One of our presenters last night was talking about how Bruce impacted her work. And I mentioned that he was going to be on Dr. Future this week. So Tuesday, 2 o'clock, Dr. Future show.
Yeah, Bruce will be coming on at 2:30.
Okay,
but we'll be on it too,
all
starting
right.
the show. Yeah.
That's really wonderful. Love you guys. I'll see
Love you too.
you on Wednesday night. All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. It's kind of fun. I'm actually traveling around. I'm with Heather and Donnie in Donnie's mother's house right now, and I'll be with Ellen and Son, and I'm going to be down in San Diego and Sedona over the next few weeks. I'm traveling, and you're going to be seeing me on the road with beautiful people like this. All right. I think Christy Michaels is got something she wants to share. Hi, Christy.
Hi, dear. Sunshine, thank you so much for those beautiful, heartfelt words. And I am so moved by the tears that people share for her. And I am so filled with joy because, and I can't, it's like I had a near-death experience. And so in my near-death experience, I popped out of my body and I'm looking down at my body down at the ground and I'm like, damn, that's my body down there. But I felt whole and complete. I felt like nothing was missing. It was just like a garment that was laying on the ground, like an old coat or something that, I could do without. But then suddenly I realized, I tried to tell my friends. They were all hovering around my body and none of them were looking up at me. So I was trying to tell my friends, I'm good. I'm okay. This is wonderful. I'm happy. and I realized I can't communicate. So that's when I decided, well, I better go back in my body to communicate with them. But Celestine, I know, because she had a near-death experience too, and she went into the Godhead. So she was 6 years old when she attempted, committed suicide. And there she's standing before the Godhead as her whole, complete, sovereign adult self, is what she told me. And so she knew the glory of what it was going to be like to go. And so when they called me and said that she was passing and the doctor said her organs were shutting down, I knew she had been struggling with cancer and was not doing well, but she didn't want anyone to know because she always held the most positive, high belief for healing and health and wellness. That was her life. Her life work was all about healing. And she went through amazing healings throughout her life, transformations that, oh my God, I could not have dealt with in a million years. And she was so brave and so powerful in her ability to be a healer, not only of her own issues, but also helping others. And she always was about helping others. And, she was the true blue priestess that every ceremony I did, she was always a yes. And she would be the first to arrive, schlepping boxes. She'd be the last to leave and making sure everything was packed up and put away. And that was because she was so dedicated and she understood the value of what it means when we gather in a sacred space together and share our heart. And she lived for those moments just as much as I do. That's why I keep recreating sacred ceremony. So she and I talked the week before she went into the ER. And we planned out this whole little ceremony of what she was going to do, her ritual and everything. So, of course, we have to do it. It's going to be at Stafford Lake, but I do need you, the Stafford Lake Park and Recs, they want me to have a count. So I have to have everybody register. So you have to go on my website, the gospelofmarymagdalene.info.
And I'll bring up one more time that here, let me spotlight us both. So here is what Christy's talking about. Again, Friday, July 22nd from noon to 4 p.m. Now, people can go live, but it's also online. Is that correct?
No, it's not going to be online. Although I am try to get, because Elizabeth Kelly is going to be speaking. She's of the Holy Order of Mary Magdalene. And she had an apparition of Mary Magdalene appear to her. And she ordained Celestine and I together on that 10/10 date. So she will be speaking. And she's another powerful Magdalene.
Okay. So I'm glad to know it's a live event only. Well, maybe we can find someone who can live stream it out, because I know that
would be awesome.
People, So
if anyone has that ability to do that, please let me know. But the thing is, because she and I both knew where she was going from my own near-death experience, hers was so glorious. And when they told me that her organs were shutting down, and normally it takes 2 to 3 days, and I'm going, wait a minute, this is the 4th of July. There's no way she's not going to go out on the 4th of July. Knowing Celestine, she's going to go out with a bang. She's going to be up into the sky, flying around, so she can watch the fireworks because she's joy and life. And I had so much joy, and everybody's crying and everybody's grieving, and I'm just like over the top with joy because she and I both know how fun it is on the other side. In fact, there was one of the near-death people wrote a book called The Fun of Dying.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really important, Christy, I appreciate that you carry that part of it.
Yes.
Because it is important for us to remember there's nothing tragic about her being gone, but it is hard for us human beings who miss her. And so there's room for both. Again, that bittersweet idea.
Oh God, yeah, I've been crying too because I feel the tears and as people share, and then I remember the sweet moments that she and I had together, and so I go into the tears, but there's so much joy that she's running.
Well, you carry everything with so much, you do everything, Christy, with so much love, so much joy. So I know anybody in the Bay Area, if you can make it on July 22nd, that's going to be an amazing event. And thank you, Christy, for being with us today. Thank you.
Yeah. There was one more thing that I know she wanted me to tell you. I don't know. It's kind of like well, if it comes to me, I might pop back on and say it. So.
Or put it in the chat box too. Either way would be great. Because we do. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to eat. So I am going to bring on Heather one more time. And Heather, bless her, has found Celestine's book is still available. So you're on camera, and thank you for finding that. And I'll pull it up as you speak.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share lastly about her new book, The Galactic Earth Council, which is available still. I'm just looking at it on Amazon. So I'm hoping it's available like print on demand. So it's her, legacy and part of her important teachings about how to hold a sacred space and connect with our star relatives. And I heard her talk about it on her last, she did a podcast and she was sharing about it. So I just invite, I'm going to get one, and I invite everyone to, that's another great way to support her and support her daughter by purchasing her book.
Beautiful, Heather. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us all throughout this long and incredible show. And I certainly look forward to going on a trip to you. Maybe this whole trip to France would be fun to coordinate, because you and Donnie lead trips. You, of course, have the big one coming up to Egypt in September. So let's all start coordinating some trips together to sacred places. I think that'd be really, really wonderful. And Thank you. And I will see you in person in a few minutes. No doubt in the kitchen. Okay, see you in a bit. Hey, I wanted to share, we're going to conclude with an Omushar song, which is awesome. And thank you to Omushar staying up so late. But I wanted to share one other thing. One of our Global Peace Tribe members named Andrea Lieberstein sent me photos. She and her husband David created this altar in memory of Celestine. So I just wanted to show those pictures. The banner says, "Glory to the light of the radiant one, Celestine Star." And that's something that Celestine used to, that was almost like her moniker. If I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, she would always say, "Glory to the light to the radiant one," is how she would kind of greet people or open and close her ceremonies. And here's another photo of the altar that they created. And what a beautiful altar. My gosh, a lot went into that. So thank you, Andrea and David, for creating such a beautiful altar to honor our soul sister. And I want to thank all the people.
That's at the Peace Park at Mount Shasta. So they have like flying all over, and they put that up for her next to Kuan Yin.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Thank you. Yeah, is that part of the big conference happening in Mount Shasta right now?
Right.
Right, thank you. Wow, well, it has been a Sunday. And next Sunday is also going to be even longer because we're going to be including a 6-hour Fantuzzi sponsored, co-hosted Rainbow Gathering event where a lot of the musical artists that were at the recent Rainbow Gathering are going to come and join us. So we're going to start at 10 o'clock as usual with Larissa Stowe. I'll be staying at Larissa's temple next weekend. Yes, I'm heading south. And so I'm going to be doing all of my shows from her temple. And she and I are doing a big show on Friday night together, all about the Weevolution. On Saturday night, I'm collaborating with Unify, Global Coherence Pulse, Teresa Collins, Jennifer Hill, and the theme is Love is the Answer. And we've got Gary Melkin, Johanna Beekman playing music, some wonderful presenters. And then on Sunday, Larissa Stowe is going to share with you her amazing story of how she healed herself of cancer. It's an amazing thing she did. And then we're going to roll from that into the Rainbow concert. So another great weekend of the Awakening World. Definitely make sure you join us. And please share out with people. Let people know about the Awakening World, about Global Peace Tribe, so we can continue to grow our community. And speaking of community, such a big part of our community is Tangila, who has been with us this whole time. Tangila, thank you. And I'd love to get I know that you shared a little bit over the weekend, but for people who didn't hear about your amazing time, you were with Celestine as she actually physically left her body. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about that again, and then any final thoughts you have about the show, and then we'll go to Omushar.
Sure. Thank you so much, Scott. And it's just been so beautiful to hear everyone share about the magnificence of Celestine and, and who she is and all of her radiance. And it was really an honor and a privilege for me to be with Celestine in her last hours and last moments. And it was, again, shows you the power of who she is, because it was very clear to me that she cosmically aligned the entire way all of this was happening. And, again, as everyone mentioned, it was very sudden, and we didn't really have a forewarning that she was going to be passing in so soon. And when Deborah called me in the morning on Monday morning of 4th of July, and she said, Celestine is in her, may only have 24 hours to live, and and I said, yes, let's go see her immediately. And soon we headed down to San Francisco. But as soon as I heard the news from Deborah, she had emailed in the morning, and then when she called me, it was, what really came to me was just the glory of the transcendence of her soul and just who she is and all of her power and all of her divinity and all of her magic and all of her fortitude and strength. And, what a gift for all of us to have known her in this lifetime and in this incarnation, and how many gifts did she share with the world? When I met Celestine, I think it was at Anthony and Renee's house, actually. And I remember it was like, I had just kind of started remembering my connection to Isis. And I was like saying to myself, wow, I would really love to meet a priestess of Isis. And then I suddenly like turn around and I meet Celestine, and she's like, I'm a priestess of Isis. And I was just blown away. I was like, wow, of course, what a cosmic connection, bringing me one of my sisters here. And she's just been such a lighthouse and a powerhouse. And, over the last few months, she's been so excited about everything she's creating and bringing into the world. And I'm really excited for us to continue supporting that and bringing that forth, her book and her videos and anything we can do with Soul Search to help bringing forth her creations. I would be so overjoyed to do so. And so, when we got to the hospital, she was already, sedated because of the pain and was unable to speak, but the doctor said that she could hear. And so Deborah was just, fielding calls and, bringing to her ear people calling in from all over, just saying poetry, singing, saying their, words of love and gratitude. And, it was just so beautiful to be there just with this outpouring of love coming in from every direction for Celestine as she was rising in her transcendence of her soul, going to the glory of all that is and all that ever will be. And what an honor and a privilege to be there, to hold that space and hold that light and be there with the star families and Isis standing there strong and all of the ascending masters and guides all there in reverence and respect and celebration of her transcendence. So it was really an incredible experience. What a gift. I felt it was very cosmically aligned and ordained by her to pass in that manner and to transition in that manner, in that way at that time. And yes, it was on Freedom Day. As Deborah and I drove back home and the fireworks just lit up the sky, we're like, of course, Celestine, we celebrate her freedom and her liberation, and we continue to do that. And she's just so with me so strongly still, as she is with so many of us. And I'm sure she's going to continue to be supporting us, guiding us, working with us, working through us in just infinite ways. So, love Celestine. And Renee and Anthony had to leave because they had to go back to the conference, but they also wanted to share just their great love and appreciation for Celestine, their huge friendship with her. And also in the moments, as she was passing, I had been texting with Renee, as was Deborah, and she also had a huge experience of light coming through and feeling Celestine in the moments of her passing that she had wanted to share with everyone. And so that was also something that Renee felt very, very, very deeply. And so, yes, we just all love her so much, and what a testament to who she is. And I'm so happy we've been able to celebrate her this whole weekend together. And again, Scott, we didn't know that this was what we were going to be doing, when we planned this weekend shows, but how beautiful that we've been able to do this together.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in person on Tuesday as we do more planning of all the things we're going to be creating. And hopefully you'll come back as co-host maybe sometime in August. Would love to do another weekend with you, Tangila. Thank you. And from now on, whenever I look at you, I see Mary Magdalene. You are Mary Magdalene, embodied in a new beautiful human body with that same assertive spirit. Let me tell you, Tangila, she's a force of nature. You know how when Anthony was channeling Mary Magdalene, she was like, no, this is truth. This is Tangila. She's got that same kind of focused energy, and it's beautiful. That's how we call it. That's how we get shit done. She's a get shit done kind of mama. So thank you.
Mary Magdalene is one of my guides. So I'm just honored you would even say that, but she's with me in all moments, guiding me and advising and supporting. So thank you. And it's just so beautiful to be here with all of you. This whole weekend has been incredible. I love the Global Peace Tribe. I love all of you guys here. We've just, continuing to connect heart to heart, soul to soul in this way is just so so amazing. And I just love how every moment when we're gathering in this way, we're truly just raising the vibration and we're just changing the world. So thank you for creating this. Thank you for the opportunity. Love you so much.
Love you. Thank you, Tangila. You're such a gift to our awakening world. Thank you so much. And again, speaking of gifts, let's be generous. I want to thank Roger Tellefson. I see that Roger just donated $100. Thank you, Roger. And again, you can donate $5, $50, $500, any number. It's appreciative. I'll put the link into the chat box again. And please do, it's so important for us we only need to raise, we're halfway there. We just need to raise another $2,500 so that this digital platform can be created by Celestine's daughter. So please, please, please donate. And I am going to go to our beautiful brother Omashar, who's in England. Thank you, Omashar, for staying up. And it's 111 right now. Here in California, it's exactly 111 as I turn it over to Brother Omashar.
This has been the most perfect show. Thank you so much. And I feel Celestine. And another deep breath, another hand on your heart. Here we go. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. I felt alone for oh so many years, held my head high to hide the pain. Nowhere to turn, so to myself again I tune my heart to the mother. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. We are one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. The time has come to wake my sleepy head and peel back the sheets of illusion. The time has come to lift my voice once more and sing the songs of the new world. 'Cause we are one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. And I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. Yes, we are one with all all feeling and one with all. One with all love, one with all. One with all healing and one with all. The time has come. Love you all.
Love you so much, Omar Shah. Thank you so much for all the incredible moments that you come on and just bring so much music and so much love and so much Omar Shah magic.
It's us. It's us. I just feel us all, and we're doing this together, and it's so wonderful.
Thank you. I'm bringing us, some of the us's, back on for one last moment. Here's Dr. and Mrs. Future again, and some of our wonderful people that are here watching us. There's Kieran Eisenberg, Pure Love Essence, who's also in England, by the way. Pure Love Essence is where you are, Omar Shah, at least on the same country. And there's Lynn and Leaf. They always come to our shows. So thank you, everybody. Big, big love. See you next weekend. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And thank you, everybody, for staying with us for 3.5 hours. It's amazing.